What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 3 rupees chapter 51 Duplicate S's level talent, freezing, naval headquarters shock. Kuan's talent is quite amazing, which one to choose? Leno focused on the 3 sulfur monosulfide level talents. Frozen, armament Haki, observation Haki. Frozen is Kuan's devil fruit. Logia devil fruit is considered the strongest of the 3 series, and there is a reason for that. Without Haki, only by targeting its weaknesses can it be countered. How powerful is open black lens bracket frozen fruit close black lens bracket? Look at Kuan. Leno hesitated, should he choose frozen or observation Haki? Select freeze, and there will be an additional elemental attack. Choosing observation Haki will undoubtedly be the fastest way to make up for shortcomings and improve combat power. After repeated consideration, choose freeze. The reason for choosing this. It is because Leno can only copy the talent from Kuan once. So, frozen talent is unique. Missed, but I missed it. Unless, cut off Kuan and let other people eat open black lens bracket frozen fruit close black lens bracket. And open black lens bracket observation Haki close black lens bracket. Owners, quite a few. Leno doesn't worry about missing out. What's more, observation Haki can be improved through self-exercise. Next, stay for a year at East Blue. He has a lot of time to practice observation Haki. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the host for duplicating the talent. Freezing, close black lens bracket. Talent introduction. Cold hardness, endless chill, belonging to the throne of ice, you will receive the blessing of ice. A slightly cool breath flowed through Leno's body and merged with him. What? Luwell, who was celebrating, shivered for a moment and said strangely, how do you feel, a little cold? Well, do not care. Luwell hugged Leno and laughed loudly. Leno, let's celebrate, ha ha ha. You beat Marine Vice Admiral, we are going to be famous, ah ha ha ha. Leno. Drunk woman, you can't afford to mess with her. However, soft is really soft, pretty bouncy. What? Kuan Vice Admiral was defeated. In the sea area to the east of Goa Kingdom, there is a marine branch. The sudden ringing of the phone startled the sub-colonel, who was leisurely fishing. His eyes fell to the ground and his tongue stuck out. Because of the existence of Garp, there are no pirates who don't have eyesight, who will come to this sea area to cause trouble. Therefore, this branch has always been idle. What, there are bandits? Feel sorry. Bandits are not under the control of Marine. The sudden appearance of such a big event stunned the colonel of the branch. Hey, are you sure? You didn't lie to me, did you? Are you kidding me? That's Vice Admiral, Master Kuan? When he was appointed as the colonel of the division, he went to the headquarters for training for a week and saw those strong perverts in the headquarters. The colonel of the Four Seas branch, if placed in the headquarters, may be a major or even worse. Certainly, it depends on the division. And Aokiji Kuan, who stands out among those monsters, is called a monster existence by those who see themselves as monsters. Strong Inhumans, now, was defeated. After confirming again and again that this incident was true, the branch colonel hurried back to the base, even losing his shoes. Incredible. If the monster who defeated Kuan came from here, wouldn't he suffer? And Kuan was also taken away by the gang. This is a big event that will shake the world. It must be reported to the headquarters as soon as possible and immediately. Under the strange eyes of all the sailors, he rushed into the office and found the number directly to the communication room of the headquarters. Then, tremblingly dialed. The short and long wait, every second is suffering. While waiting, he tried to calm down. Finally, the phone went through. He quickly identified himself and explained the incident to the other party. What did you say? The phone bug showed a shocked expression. Obviously. The operator in the communication room was also frightened by the news, and asked the colonel to wait in a panic while he went to report. Marine has hundreds of branch bases around the world, and it is impossible for everyone to make a call to the marshal's office. The correspondent told the group leader the news. The person in charge will report again. In charge of the communication room is a Rear Admiral, Momosagi Gion. What? Kuan, defeated in East Blue. Gion looked incredible. She and Kuan, Sakazuki and others belong to the same period, so they are naturally aware of their strength. Not just fruit. Physical skills, Haki, etc., all aspects of the results are very good. Who can beat him in East Blue? Could it be the dragon of the Revolutionary Army? Hey, can you tell me what's going on? Well, not yet. It happened too suddenly. The branch is still investigating, the person in charge said. Gion put his hand on his forehead and said, tell them not to mess around. The guy who can defeat Kuan is not something they can deal with. Yes. Gion got up, went to the staff immediately, and told Vice Admiral Crane the news, and the two hurried to see Kong Sora. Kong is drinking tea with Sengoku. Sengoku is known as the resourceful general. Unlike Garp, he chose to serve as Admiral, who is Kong's very dependent assistant. He is also recognized by everyone. The next Marine Marshal candidate, Kong, has already given him many things to deal with. seeing Crane and Gion coming with serious expressions. Kong Chi said, "What happened to make you so serious? What did Shanks do again? Or is it the 4 emperors who are restless again?" Crane said, "It's not Shanks, 4 emperors, it's Kuan." "Huh? What happened to him?" Kong frowned. Although Kuan is one of the candidates for the next admiral, Kong is not very satisfied with his work attitude. This person has a problem with his thinking. Sakazuki, on the other hand, suits his taste very well. "He was defeated in East Blue," Gion said, puff. Sengoku, who was listening with pricked ears, spouted out a sip of tea, which showed his surprise. Kong was stunned, and said, "Dragon made it. Wait, isn't Kuan and Garp together? How could they fight?" Gion said, "It's not a dragon, it's an unknown person. The details are still under investigation." Kong's expression also became serious. The mysterious man who can defeat Kuan. "This is no joke." Sengoku coughed and said, "Well, contact Garp, he might know." Kong got up immediately, went to the office, picked up the microphone of the phone bug and dialed Garp. On the sea. Garp, who was chewing a donut, looked at the Hunter Guild promotion on the table and suddenly burst out laughing. "What, it was so much fun beating Kuan. Celebrate the 7-day-long holiday of National Day and enjoy reading books. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 52 Naval Headquarters Discussion, Great Journalist Morgans. Leno beats Kuan, shocking Kong, Sengoku and others. With the collection of various intelligence, Kong held a small-scale high-level meeting. In order to minimize the impact of this matter, those who attended the meeting were all the core figures of Marine. Marshal, Kong Empty, Admiral, Sengoku, Admiral, Zephyr. Vice Admiral, Sakazuki, Vice Admiral, Leno. Vice Admiral, Crane, Rear Admiral, Gion. "Hey, what's the big deal that needs to be called urgently?" Sakazuki asked. Gion got up and distributed the collected information. The cover of the document is the dragon badge of the Hunters Guild, and there is also the Hunters Guild underneath. Hunter Guild. Sakazuki was smoking a cigar and said, "Which pirate group is it again?" "Pirates." Hatred flashed in Zephyr's eyes. However, while still a Marine Admiral, he has moved on to logistics and is currently the chief instructor of the Marine Training School. Sakazuki, Leno, Kuan and others were all his students. "Do not," the Vice Admiral Crane spoke, attracting everyone's attention. She calmly said, "They are not pirates, not pirates. Then what's the value of discussing? Marine, you shouldn't put your energy on such a small organization." Sakazuki expressed dissatisfaction. "Sakazuki, you might as well read the information first," Sengoku said. Hunter Guild. Leno, the president, defeated Kuan in the waters near East Blue Goa Kingdom yesterday. Kong, who was wearing a marshal's coat, explained. "Okay. What?" Sakazuki, Zephyr, and Leno, who didn't know the inside story, were all surprised, and the atmosphere in the conference room changed. "Beat Kuan? Terrible." Leno, with a wretched face, began to look through the documents. "That guy, he's too weak. It's fine if he loses to a dragon, but he actually loses to a nobody. It's really embarrassing to Marine." Sakazuki snorted coldly and opened the file. The information that Kong and the others got was the Hunter Guild recruitment promotion transmitted by Garp, as well as the Marine branch. At present, the first thing to do is to confirm Kuan's life and death. I have asked Garp and East Blue's Marine Division to search with all their strength. The trouble is, this incident will definitely have a negative impact on Marine. Should we classify Hunter Guild as pirates? Naval Headquarters, when meeting to discuss this matter. World Economic News Headquarters. Morgans, in the form of a bird, with a cigar in one hand and information in the other, happily circles the office. Morgans, a well-known figure in the press, has cooperated with major organizations around the world, including the SeaWorld government. For example, the reward order for Marine is printed and distributed by the newspaper under Morgans. He can always get all kinds of big news. Marine Vice Admiral defeated? East Blue, Hunters Guild. This is really big news, the news that can make Marine embarrassing. The sales will definitely fly. Ho ho ho. Morgans didn't care if the news put Marine in an embarrassing situation. For Morgans, it doesn't matter if it offends the world government as long as it's big news of value. East Blue. Kuan woke up with his eyes open, rubbed his head, and found himself lying on a hospital bed with bandages wrapped around his body. "I fell asleep." Kuan yawned. As for the injuries on his body, Kuan didn't take them seriously. His body is quite strong. Even if he is injured by Haki, he only needs to cultivate for 10 days to heal. There were footsteps outside. He looked up and saw an old doctor walking in. "Oh, you're awake. How do you feel?" asked the old doctor. Kuan got off the bed, stretched his waist, and said, "It feels good." He turned his head, shook his shoulders, and his joints made a clicking sound. The battle made him see a lot. "Hey, where is this place? Where is the person who sent me here?" Kuan asked the old doctor. The old doctor said, "This is Shield's town. The people who brought you here left after paying the fee." Kuzan scratched his hair. The news of his defeat probably caused a lot of commotion in the headquarters. Kuzan asked. Is there a marine nearby? Yes, Shields Town is a marine town controlled by the Marine 153 branch, the old doctor said. A marine town refers to a village that rose up because of the existence of marine base. It is governed by marine base and does not belong to any kingdom. Most of the people in the town are the family members of marine base, or they wandered here to settle down and serve marine base. Kuzan walked out of the clinic and soon came outside the 153 branch. I am Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral Kuzan. Huh, Kuzan Vice Admiral. Menka, the sailor guarding the gate, lost his voice in shock, and then his face quickly filled with surprise and enthusiasm, and hurried to the base. After a while, the colonel and others in the base greeted them all. Vice Admiral in this department is an absolute big shot. Came to their base? The sailors in the entire base were alarmed, and inside the base, they lined up to greet each other. Kuzan briefly interacted with them, went to the colonel's office, took the phone bug, and contacted the headquarters so as not to misunderstand them. Learned that Kuzan was alive. Kong Emptiness, Sengoku, all of them breathed a sigh of relief. You really lost? Sengoku couldn't help asking. He is different from Kong who recognized Sakazuki. He is a person who appreciates Kuzan more. Well, lost. Sengoku couldn't believe it when he heard Kuzan's confession. He shook his head and said, the Hunter Guild situation has been handed over to the world government by Marshal Kong. How to deal with it is their business. However, since you are fine, the world government will not make a big fuss, so as not to push the other side to the opposite side. World government even tolerates and incorporates pirates such as Lock Doll, which shows its attitude towards the strong. It is undeniable that the era of great pirates has indeed caused a great impact on the world government, and its military strength is stretched. As long as the Hunters Guild doesn't openly confront the marine and world government, they won't mess around too much. Of course, surveillance and attention are certain. In addition, in view of the fact that this matter will have a negative impact on marine, we will arrange an interview for you. Sengoku said. You have to publicly deny this, otherwise, your admiral promotion will be affected. Whitewashing, concealing the truth. This kind of thing, world government and marine, is not the first time. For example, the Valley of the Gods incident, the Ohara incident. Kuzan calmly looked at the sea outside the window. There were seagulls flying by, and the justice on the warship was particularly dazzling. Kuzan said slowly. I know, celebrate the 7-day-long holiday of National Day and enjoy reading books. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 53. Shock of the Red Hair Pirates, attention from all over the world. Dazzling, 5 days have passed, new world, an island. On the Smoky Island, a pirate flag was lowered and replaced by the flag of the Red Hair Pirates. Hey, Dirk, how's it going? Usopp stood on the roof, waving at the ship Dr. Dirk below. Is it crooked? Okay. Usopp tied the flagpole and clapped his hands. Starting today, this island is temporarily the territory of our Red Hair Pirates, woo-ha-ha-ha-ha. Yes, that's right, the first step to challenge the 4 emperors. Everyone, the food is ready and the banquet is ready, Chef Lackey Lu shouted from a distance. Oh, it's a party. Shanks sat on the floor, seeing his friends happy, he also laughed. Hey, Shanks, newsbird, here's the latest world news. Ben Beckman came over with a newspaper. Hey, is it about us again? Usopp jumped down and asked, yes, yes. Since entering the Grand Line, we have received more and more news, which shows that we are being watched by the world. Did the bounty increase again? The rest of the pirate group also came together. They are climbing towards the top. At this time, they can be noticed by the world. Thinking about it, I feel very motivated. Beckman smoked a cigarette and said, no, the news these days is not about us. Huh? Why? Beckman handed the newspaper to Shanks and said, Marine Vice Admiral, Aokiji Kuzan, was defeated at East Blue. Kuzan? What? That guy actually lost. Red Hair Pirates, the collective was shocked, although they haven't really played against Kuzan yet. But in the Paradise section, there have been several encounters with Sakazuki and Leno. They are very strong. Facing the siege of a large number of marines, the Red Hair Pirates could barely escape. Although in Sabo de Archipelago, there was a special training for half a year, but it is difficult to say that they will win when they meet them again. Unless there is a real reason to fight to the death, everyone will try their best to preserve their strength and will not really fight. After all, Marines outnumber them. If one of your side dies, you will lose blood. And Aokiji Kuzan, Marine Vice Admiral who is as famous as Sakazuki and Leno, was actually defeated. Who is it? Near Goa Kingdom, is it Luffy's place? They all came together. Look at the newspaper Shanks is holding. Beckman said. Although the Marine and world government vehemently denied it, the Morgan's newspaper reported it. So, the credibility is very high. In the newspaper, on the first page, the text is simple. Shocked, Marine Vice Admiral lost. The picture is matched, not by anyone. But a sign. In the circle, there is a black dragon. Below is a bold, black, thick font. Open black lens bracket. The Hunters Guild close black lens bracket. Hunter Guild leader Leno, also in New World. Don Quixote da Flamingo in a flamingo coat, sunglasses, sitting on a sun lounger, holding a newspaper. Hey, another interesting guy has appeared, and I seem to smell the breath of a new era. What's the matter, Dover? The sloppy Uncle Torpal asked strangely. Doflamingo put down the newspaper. He didn't answer. Tezzolo, did you find it? He took our things, so he can't just disappear like this. Islands flying the Whitebeard flag. The bonfire burns. The crew members of various teams gathered around Whitebeard, singing and dancing. At this time, Whitebeard is not that old. His body is still strong, like a hill. In order to deal with the red-haired gang who broke into New World, Whitebeard called a general meeting. Although the target of the red hair pirates, it seems that they are not, but what if? Hey Teach, what are you looking at? Sage, the captain of the 4th squad, who was in charge of the food for this party, saw Teach sitting in the corner and shouted. With missing front teeth and a fat body, Teach turned his head and grinned, and said with a simple smile, "No, there is no captain." "Come here to help, ready to serve," Saki said. "Oh." Teach got up, looked at the newspaper again, and squeezed his fist. "One day, I will be like this. If I don't make a song, I will be a blockbuster." Teach casually threw the newspaper into the fire. Sabo de Archipelago. Shaki's ripped-off bar. Rayleigh drank and read the newspaper. "Oh, you've been paying attention to East Blue's news recently?" Behind the bar. Shaki, the bar owner, said while wiping his glasses. Rayleigh said with a smile, "Among the 4 seas, East Blue has always been a lively place. Because of the town of Rog? More interesting people." Shaki glanced at the newspaper and said, "Hunters Guild? Are those organizations of bounty hunters?" Something's different, Rayleigh said. Morgan's News wrote the purpose of the Hunters Guild, more specifically, waiting for the follow-up to be more exciting. Obviously, Morgan's is well versed in the news, and he didn't have a brain to release all the news. But beating Vice Admiral Kuzan head-on, and that unconventional purpose, has a lot of interest. West Blue. Bar Lock Studio. Lock Dahl, who combed back his hair, was smoking a cigar, watching the news, and the veins on his forehead were slightly raised. Hunter Guild. Smoke came out from the corner of his mouth. That guy is really more in the limelight than me. Boss. Daz Bonus walked in. Kay Lokadar did not turn around, and asked in a calm voice. "Have you found it? Son of the devil, Nico Robin?" "Not yet, she's cunning. No matter how cunning the prey is, it is hard to escape the hunt of the hunter." People all over the world, because of the big news about Morgan's, temporarily set their sights on East Blue. The character that many people pay attention to, Leno, the leader of the Hunter Guild who defeated Kuzan, is eating grilled octopus at this time. However, this octopus is relatively large, with a body size of over 100 meters. No doubt, it is the dangerous king of the sea, the big octopus that Barry said. They are in One Piece world, and there is also a collective name, Sea Kings. The bonfire is grilling, and the aroma is pervasive. It is really delicious when paired with the condiments prepared by Luwell with the plants on the island. Lord of Gluttony, talent, slightly flooded. Leno, with a big appetite, absorbs the nutrients of Sea Kings into his body, strengthening his muscles, strength and so on. Swing the knife, swing the knife, swing the knife. Kuina trained. Crow is trying to activate the power left by the demon knife. Luwell said goodbye to her father. They came to the island, found her father's shipwreck, and buried the decayed bones with the ship. A tall mausoleum with tombstones erected. Luwell put down the flowers. She let go of one thing on her mind, freed herself from the past, and began to look forward. "Hey, Leno, where are we going next? Ever heard of Music Island? Celebrate the 7-day-long holiday of National Day and enjoy reading books. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 54 Goal. Taught Musica. Buggy of Acrobatic Island. Junior Hao Si Deng Bao Da Kang Ju Dian Rakuten Travel. Ri Ben Sheng Ne Ling Xian Wang Sheng Lu Sheng Shi. The Island of Music, Elegia, a dream place for musicians from all over the world. Blue sky. White clouds. The sea breeze is warm. A ship sails on the sea, cuts through the waves, followed by a few seagulls, and falls to the mast to rest when tired. Leno looked at Rog's chart. This is a fairly complete East Blue chart, with each island marked and described in the logbook. Luwell's father, Rog, is undoubtedly a great adventurer. He devoted himself to charting the world's seas. He spent almost 10 years, traveled to every corner of East Blue, and wrote more than a dozen related books. In the end, he exchanged the royal family's funding on the condition that he hand over the East Blue sea chart to the Kingdom of Oiket. He set out on the Grand Line in the name of the adventurer of the Royal House of Oiket. But it's a scam. Rog, instead of handing over the well-drawn charts to the Ochkot royals, used fake ones instead. Because he knew that the royal family of Oiket wanted the chart in order to launch wars against other islands and countries. By the time the Oiket royals found out, Rog had disappeared. His nautical charts and logbooks drifted to the deserted island with the storm, and were obtained by Sieg, Barry and others who were in distress. Although relying on the chart, Sieg and the others survived. But the fear of the storm made Sieg put all these in the box to eat ashes. Intel, discovered by Leno. In Rog's logbook, there is a detailed description of their destination, Alia. It was a happy, beautiful, music-filled island. Rog described his love there and a legend on the island in extremely beautiful words. Open black lens bracket taught music a close black lens bracket. But Rog must never have imagined that the holy place in his heart was turned into ruins just last year. This is how it was described in East Blue's news. Nation destruction event. Red hair pirates ransacked the island of music, seized the treasure, and killed everyone on the island. Shanks, who was not very well known at first, was dubbed the title of Nation Destroyer, and the bounty offered has skyrocketed. Leno looked at the chart. It takes about 5 days to set off from Keto Island to Alia, and a resupply is needed on the way. Meat and fresh water are fine, mainly fruits and vegetables. The inability to supplement vitamins is the most painful thing for the crew. Deck. Kuina, Luel, and Crow were training separately. After experiencing the Goa Kingdom and his party, they offered to increase their willingness to practice more and conduct stronger special training. To this end, Leno made a detailed training plan for the 3 of them. Kuina, needless to say, gives priority to swordsmanship and observation Haki. Luel, who develops devil fruit, conducts armament Haki training. Zone, and the armed color is more suitable. In addition, she also has the talent of spider web perception, so the development of observation Haki can be postponed. Crow, physical training, develop knowledge, armament, and try to control the power left by the demon sword. Leno himself is also training, focusing on the practice of knowledge, coupled with the newly acquired, freezing, talent practice. These trainings speed up the loss of food. Good news. Having the freezing talent means that there will be no shortage of water. Luel was exhausted, suspended training, resumed her human form, came to Leno, and glanced at the map. She picked up the coke on the ice, took a sip, and made a refreshing sound. Leno, what are we going to Erigia for? She asked curiously, is it destroyed there? Leno laughed and said, we are going there because it was destroyed. We need an island of our own. Glassball Island is only a temporary place to stay, it is the place of Doskoipanda, not theirs. In other places, either the islands are too small to be suitable, or they are already under the jurisdiction of kingdoms, marines and other forces. Only Alia, this island, which was exterminated last year, has kept people secret because of various ominous rumors and stories. I heard that even the marine did not go to station, and the world news also stopped paying attention after a brief report. It seems that there are dreadful monsters there, the red-haired diva. The place where we will replenish fruits and vegetables is also an interesting place, Luel said. Leno's eyes moved to the next island, the island of Acrobatics. Kingdom of Acrobatics, port. The ship slowly approached the shore. Is this the island of Acrobatics? Buggy with a red nose, standing on a boat. He set up a pergola with his hands, overlooking the entire island. The island of Acrobatics consists of 5 peripheral sub-islands and a main island. Looking down from the sky, it looks like a large acrobatic troupe composed of different performance parts in a circle. The sky between the islands is connected by a steel cable, which is called, walking on the clouds, cableway. People riding unicycles come and go on it, certainly. On the ground, there is also a passable trestle for guests who come to the island of Acrobatics. Hey, Buggy, come and move something. Today is the Acrobatics Conference in the island of Acrobatics. Acrobatic troops from all over East Blue gather to perform together. The acrobatic troupe that wins the first place will be awarded the title of King of Acrobatics, and a bonus of 100 million Baileys. Although there was a storm on the way, fortunately, we still caught up. Hey, Buggy, are you listening? Come on, really. Buggy and the circus guys just got off the boat. Call out. A man riding a unicycle fell from the sky. His hair covered his left eye, he wore a scarf and a cloak, and said, I'm Kabaji, do you need help? Just as Buggy was about to speak, there was a sudden commotion not far away, and even Kabaji's eyes were attracted to him. A ship docks. A blood-colored flag with a dragon-shaped logo hung on the mast, rolling in the wind, as if a black dragon was flying in the wind. The crowd suddenly boiled. Hunter Guild. It is the most vivid banner in the newspapers these days, defeating the powerful monster of Marine Vice Admiral Kuzan. Be a hunter and hunt your dreams. Hearing these words, Buggy looked confused, and said to Kabaji, hey, what are they talking about? What hunter? Kabaji glanced at him sideways, did he come from the countryside? The island of Acrobatics, so enthusiastic. Leno and Kuina were immediately surrounded by crowds as soon as they got off the boat, and reporters were frantically taking pictures. This was the first public appearance after the Hunter Guild became famous. Wow, as the rumors say, the Hunters Guild is definitely not vicious guys like pirates. Master Leno is so handsome. Who is that lady? She is so beautiful. All kinds of praises filled the pier. It's disgusting that these guys get more attention than Mr. Buggy. Buggy was envious and resentful. Celebrate the 7-day-long holiday of National Day and enjoy reading books. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 55 The live broadcast that shocked the world, a big change, Kuan resigned. Grand Line. Marineford, the residence of Naval Headquarters. Gathered here, Marine elites from all over the world are the center and brain of the huge Marine organization. In one room, Kuan was alone. He crossed his arms, closed his eyes and meditated. Marine Vice Admiral Kuan was defeated by an unknown organization in East Blue, Hunter Guild, President Leno. The news. Once reported by the World Economic News Agency, it caused an uproar around the world. Pirates are having a carnival. Although they don't know about Hunter's Guild, let alone Leno, it doesn't prevent them from gloating and celebrating. Pirates of the world, Marine has been suffering for a long time. Actually, defeating a Marine Vice Admiral is nothing. On the Grand Line, Marine Vice Admiral was defeated, not just Kuan. For example, since last year, the famous Shanks pirate group has destroyed at least 3 Marine Vice Admirals. But, Kuan is different. He is no ordinary Vice Admiral. He is the future Admiral who has been building momentum since last year's World Summit with Sakazuki and Leno. Look, how did Marine advertise before? Undefeated Vice Admiral. Marine monsters. Hope for the future, and so on. A series of dazzling halos began to be set on Kuan and the others, making them attract the attention of Marines and people everywhere. It can be said that they are launched by the Marine and world government to suppress the powerhouses and top stars of the 4 emperors. Their every move represents the image of Marine. Now, suddenly the car overturned? Happy to hear and see, let's play the crown and celebrate. Compared with the happy pirates, countries all over the world are more disturbed, and they all voiced their voices, reprimanding Marine for not doing anything. Everyone pays heavenly gold every year, to the world government, to your Marine, to catch pirates. The results of it? Pirates are getting more and more rampant. There have long been complaints about this within various countries, but the world government and Marine are so powerful that many people in the 997 dare not speak out. Now, Kuan's defeat has given them an excuse, and comments from countries all over the world criticizing Kuan emerge endlessly. Although these remarks refer to Sang and Y, as long as they don't say it clearly, Kuan has to take the blame. After all, it is impossible for Marine and world government to bear the infamy for Kuan. In front of this huge collective, even an Admiral, Marshal Marine, will not hesitate at all when he needs to give up. Of course, Kuan is not yet abandoned, he is still valuable, and Admiral-level combat power is not Chinese cabbage. Marine and world government can only try their best to quell the incident. To this end, after discussion by world government and Marine high-level officials, it was decided to hold a press conference for Kuan, and he would publicly deny the defeat. Crash. The door of the house opened. The tall Momosagi Gion stood at the door, glanced at the calm Kuan, and said, "The press conference is ready." Kuan opened his eyes, stood up, and walked outside. "This is the manuscript given to you by the superiors. We have arranged for our own people to ask questions, and you only need to answer the questions you have." Gion handed the document to Kuan. She has mixed feelings. Kuan's defeat also caused controversy within Marine. Many hawks, led by Sakazuki, believe that he has discredited Marine and should be removed from the Marine Admiral nomination. Where there are people, there are rivers and lakes. A huge Marine is not monolithic. Gion and Suru have a good relationship with Garp, so they and Kuan are doves in the same camp. Kuan took the document and scanned it. "If a reporter asks a question that is not mentioned above, you must not answer it," Gion urged. Kuan scratched his ears and lazily said, "Hey, Gion, I'm not a kid anymore, I know what I'm doing." Gion looked at him deeply and said, "I hope you know." She always felt that after returning from East Blue, Kuan's mental state was strange, and his eyes and demeanor had changed. But exactly what was wrong, she couldn't say. It worried her a lot. "Relax," Kuan said. He walked out of the house, rounded the corner, and saw Sakazuki standing against the wall, wearing a Marine hat and smoking a cigar. "Hey." Sakazuki, who folded his arms, raised his head slightly and said indifferently, "Put away your useless sympathy. Stop embarrassing Marine, you bastard." The former Kuan and Sakazuki were friends who fought side by side until the Ohara incident happened. The ideas of the two diverged, for the first time, tit for tat. Since then, the two have parted ways, dislike each other, and the contradictions are almost irreconcilable. Kuan went with Garp. Sakazuki asked himself to be transferred from the headquarters to the branch base to serve as the chief officer. Until, 4 years ago, Fisher Tiger, the Murloc, climbed the red line headlong and made a big fuss at Marijoy, the celestial dragon's turf. They meet again. Contradictions not only did not disappear with the passage of time, but increased more and more. After Kuan's defeat at East Blue, Sakazuki was the one inside Marine who publicly criticized Kuan for his incompetence. Kuan just paused, and continued to walk forward, leaving a sentence. "When will I need you to take care of my affairs?" Sakazuki looked at Kuan's back and narrowed his eyes. HMPH, you stubborn guy, don't do stupid things, otherwise. He took a breath. Hello, Kuzan. Gion chased it out, passing by Sakazuki, a little surprised, and then hurriedly chased Kuzan. Gion catches up to Kuzan before stepping through the door. Your clothes. Gion put Kuzan on the chair, his justice coat, and handed it to him. Kuzan looks back. Open black lens bracket justice close black lens bracket the two words come into my eyes. In his eyes, the scene when he put on this coat appeared back then. Excited. It seems that when you wear it, you are justice. Kuzan stretched out his hand, felt emotional after touching it, and said to Gion, no need. Gion was dumbfounded. Kuzan has turned around and walked out of the passage. The lights suddenly brightened. Kuzan squinted his eyes to adapt to the lighting of the press conference. As far as he could see, there were reporters from more than a dozen newspapers. They are closely related to Marine and world government, and they belong to the mouthpiece of their own camp, and they will not report indiscriminately like Morgans. One by one, the videophone bugs aimed their eyes at him. Coming. It's Kuzan, Plaza of the Sabaody Archipelago. There are already many people standing in front of a huge screen, including pirates, local residents, and uninvited reporters. Many people watched with curiosity and eagerness to eat melons. In the crowd, Doflamingo squatted on the branch, with the flick of his fingertips. Several pirates were fighting under his control like puppets. He looked at the screen and let out a mocking laugh. Shishi, what will Kuzan say? Is Marine's justice? In the corner, Ivankov, a revolutionary army wrapped in a cloak, and his party watched with folded arms. Is it really Leno boy who defeated Kuzan? Ivankov was puzzled. Besides them, there was Rayleigh on the scene. In addition, this press conference will not only be broadcast live, but will also be broadcast to countries around the world to reshape the image of Marine. Alabasta. In the royal capital, King Cobra and his ministers were sitting around a long table with a radio bug. Cobra's daughter, the young Princess Vivi, sneaks in from outside, eluding guards. The Fishmen Island. The Neptune family, get together. Princess Odahime has always been committed to reconciling with the world government, allowing the Murlocs to come out of the bottom of the sea and live on the surface of the bright sea. Therefore, she pays close attention to the world on the surface of the sea. Doris Rosa. Huge Colosseum. The gladiatorial fight is temporarily suspended. King Riku hopes that the people can hear Marine's voice, so he will broadcast this broadcast to the audience present. The island that flies the Whitebeard flag. The Whitebeard pirates got the broadcast source. Marco, Joes, Bista and others sat in one place each. As people who often deal with Marine, they naturally pay attention to Marine's movements. Kingdom of Toto Land. Mom, Marine, what are you going to say this time? Charlotte Linlin, who is huge, holds the cake with her hands, but grins on her mouth. Katakuri stood grimly. At this moment, the world is focused. On the screen of Sabaody Archipelago, from the perspective of a phone bug, he followed Kuzan to the table of the press conference, and there were already two people sitting beside him. It's Garp, Marine hero Garp, the resourceful general, Sengoku. Residents of the Sabaody Archipelago cheered. These two names are an era of Marine, and they are the best interpretation of justice in people's minds. Seeing them come out, everyone's confidence in Marine was rekindled. Garp, Sengoku, those two guys. Rayleigh looked at his former opponent, picked up the jug, and took a sip of wine. Garp was wearing a Marine coat, with his arms folded, and he was sitting upright, with no usual grinning look on his face. At the critical moment, Garp is very reliable. His iron fist is a sharp weapon to beat pirates and protect the people. Sengoku is much more relaxed. He wears a pair of frog glasses. The long beard on the chin is tied into a twist. With a military cap on his head, a seagull symbolizing Marine stands. He put his hands on the table, relaxed his body, and released a calm and confident attitude to the outside world. Kuzan walked between them and sat down. He was wearing a white suit vest and a dark blue shirt, and his expression was not too dignified, looking very relaxed. The host of the press conference first affirmed the world government, Marine, and Faxinlian's attack on evil. Then, it is emphasized that there are people with ulterior motives who are trying to discredit Marine. Although they did not say who they are, everyone knows. That old bird, Morgans. After that, there will be questions from reporters. The reporter arranged by Marine immediately stood up to ask questions. Sengoku Admiral, World Economic News reported that Kuzan Vice Admiral was defeated head-on in East Blue not long ago. Is it true? Marie Joy. Lao Sheng watched the live broadcast. Hearing this question, he nodded slightly. Sengoku's arrangement is still possible, and Kuzan was not allowed to face the reporter directly, so as to prevent him from making another mistake. Okay. At the next World Summit, it can be arranged. Let Kong be promoted to the Marshal of the Three Armed Forces, and Sengoku will be promoted. 0 degrees. Sengoku has always been an obedient person and firmly believes in the orders of the world government. This is very important. Yes, Marshal Marine, you must be loyal. Admiral's candidate, Zephyr should retire. His energy has been exhausted, plus that incident, the impact on him. Sakazuki, Paluzalino, as for Kuzan, it's up to him. I am still optimistic about his next performance. He is Garp's disciple and Sakazuki's opponent. In Marine, there cannot be only one voice, otherwise it will be out of control. Live. Sengoku said in a calm tone. Morgan's report is groundless and just to gain attention. The battle did happen, but it was just a sparring session, not a real battle. And, Kuzan is not defeated. Sengoku's answer, all in all, did not deny that battle, but just refuted Kuzan's defeat. Sengoku turned his finger on Morgan's, thinking that he had ulterior motives and maliciously distorted the facts. After listening, the reporter looked at Kuzan and said, Kuzan Vice Admiral, is what Sengoku Admiral said true? On Kuzan's document, the answer to this is only one word. Yes. This is Sengoku's inoculation. Don't let Kuzan talk too much, so as not to talk too much. Kuzan looked at the answer, raised his head, faced the reporter, and opened his mouth. Do not, he also only said one word, but all the reporters at the scene who thought it was just a formality looked up in surprise. Sengoku's hand trembled, and his calm face turned black instantly. He wanted to turn off the live broadcast, but it was too late. Kuzan's next words were broadcast live along with the phone bug. I lost. There is nothing to hide and explain. Leno is stronger than me. He is a respectable opponent. Naval Headquarters, Sabaody Archipelago, the Fishmen Island, Alabasta, Doris Rosa, Whitebeard Island, Toto Land Kingdom. All over the world, people who are paying attention to and listening to this press conference are all quiet, with surprise all over their faces. What? Admitted. Leno really beat Kuzan. A new name will resound through the sea and the world. All, those who listened, were shocked. Kuzan? In the passage, Gion was stunned. That guy, the veins on Sakazuki's forehead popped out. Garp was surprised, then laughed. Kuzan Vice Admiral. Somewhere in the headquarters, Smoker, Hina and other Marines have complex expressions. The five elders were mad. Facing the live broadcast, he cursed loudly. Kuzan. What is he doing? Is he crazy? Why did you say it? That guy, is he going to make the Marine and the world government lose face? If Kuzan was there, they wanted to stab him to death, take out his heart, his brain, and see what he was thinking. Pity. Useless. The live broadcast is still going on. But at the scene, the pot has already exploded. The calm reporters suddenly became overwhelmed. They realized that Kuzan, who did not follow the routine, wanted to make a big news. Don't blame them. Kuzan Vice Admiral, you admit defeat, don't you? Kuzan Vice Admiral, who is Leno? What is his history? How did you meet him? Kuzan Vice Admiral, why do you admit that one is dissatisfied with Marine? Kuzan Vice Admiral, what do you think of Hunter's Guild? All kinds of problems hit Kuzan like a storm. Stop the live broadcast, stop the live broadcast. Sengoku yelled. It's just that his shouts were drowned out, and no one paid attention to him. Now Kuzan is the protagonist. Kuzan looked calm and didn't panic at all. He stood up, and the chill made the people around him gradually quiet down. He swept his eyes and said, if you lose the war, you will lose face to Marine and world government. I don't think so. Marine's justice will never lose its light because of one of my defeats. Don't forget, in Marine, there are countless colleagues fighting with pirates. Their death and defeat are great. For me, this defeat made me see myself in the path I want to pursue. Perhaps this has troubled many people, so it's time to stop these arguments and get things back on track. Of course, I will also be responsible for my defeat and the above actions. Kuzan faced the image phone bug. His eyes were no longer lazy. He regained his faith. He was before Ohara, lost faith and dreams. I'm resigning as Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, he said. The world, once again, is peaceful. What? Sengoku, Gion, Suru Vice Admiral, and people all over the world who were paying attention, were all shocked when they heard this sentence. Kuzan, what are you doing? The island of acrobatics. On the radio, only Sakazuki's roar and a loud explosion were heard, and the phone bug completely lost its voice. On the island, a piece of quiet. Leno, Crow, Kuina, and Luwell all looked dumbfounded. Kuzan, resigning? Are you crazy? Crow, Kuina, and Luwell all looked at Leno. You broke his mind? Chapter 56 The Buggy Pirates are not in a group, the Sword Heroes swordless style? Kuzan's press conference shocked the world. The island of acrobatics, a joyful celebration, was shocked by this news and fell silent. Buggy, Kabaji and more. Countless acrobats and spectators who came here stared wide-eyed, with exaggerated expressions, and could cut a bunch of emoticons. See what I do? Facing Kei Luo's gaze, Leno rolled his eyes and said, it's not that I want him to resign. That's what it says. He kept thinking, or Kuzan from Vice Admiral, resigning from Marine. The development of this plot is too far away, right? Leno himself was dumbfounded. He knew that Kuzan would resign in the future, but he had been Admiral for many years and failed to leave as a Marshal. Resigning now means that the future line of Pirate World has undergone the most significant change since his arrival. Marine 3 Admiral was demolished by him. Who will take Kuzan's place? If a line changes, the world line will change, right? Foreseeable. The butterfly effect this time will definitely have a huge impact on the world of pirates. Messed up, messed up, messed up. Leno couldn't help scratching his head. Kuzan, you are playing something very new, remarkably brave. After a short period of calm, the island of acrobatics has returned to its excitement. Hey, look outside, Crow said. Leno, Kuina, and Luel turned their heads. Outside the tavern, a large number of people suddenly poured in. Leno, Lord Leno, please accept me, I want to be your little brother. It turned out that they were people from the island. They heard that Leno from the Hunters Guild was on the island, so they came here especially for the name. You must know that Kuzan just admitted that he lost to Leno. Who wouldn't want to befriend this kind of person? It's too enthusiastic. Luel was sweating. Now the island of acrobatics is holding a celebration, and the number of people on the island is far beyond usual. Hey, Leno, how far is it? Seeing those people, they were about to rush into the tavern. Ah! Accompanied by a huge lion's roar, a huge lion suddenly jumped outside the tavern. Under the lion's roar, the enthusiastic crowd was suddenly terrified, and some of them stood still and fell to the ground. The male lion with white hair and purple beard was very satisfied with his victory, showing a personalized and proud smile. It's Mochi and Lakey. Hey, Mochi, what are you doing? Among the crowd, someone recognized the lion and the man sitting on top of it. Mochi, who is it? 20, huh? You don't know his name? Mochi is a famous animal trainer on the island of acrobatics, and he is in charge of the Animal Trainer Island, one of the 5 peripheral islands. The island of acrobatics consists of 6 islands. They are the island of taming animals, the island of high altitude, the island of circus, the island of magic, and the island of funny. And in the center, it's both great, everyone is discussing. Snapped. There was a crack of the whip. Mochi, on the lion's head, stood up. He was dressed strangely, wearing a rag doll headgear, holding a whip in his hand, wearing plush clothes, and had claw shoes. On the face, it was dismissive. He looked down at the crowd below, and said contemptuously, "You guys, defeating Marine Vice Admiral, what is it?" He raised his whip high. "Here, acrobatics are everything. I am Moki, but the man who wants to become the king of acrobatics, respect me." Ah! After Zhang Er's speech, the lion Li Ke roared. "That guy, don't you know the power of Marine Vice Admiral?" Among the crowd, Hypnosis Master Zan Gao said to the Catman brother. The Cat brothers looked at each other and asked curiously, "Marine Vice Admiral, is it strong?" Praise. Underscore, never mind, don't compare with these two goods. If it weren't for their strength, I wouldn't bother to take them into action. Laugh. Just when Moki was triumphant, a saber light suddenly flew towards him, causing him to flip back and land on the back of the lion in embarrassment. Huh? Who is it again? Chi. A figure that could not be seen clearly ran across the roof. Moki, you want to be the king of acrobatics just because of you? Kabaji, damn it. Mochi whipped out his whip, causing the figure to stop, and it was only then that he saw clearly that it was a man riding a unicycle. It's Kabaji, the ruler of the high-altitude island. Kabaji held a knife in one hand. His hair covers his left eye, he wears a scarf and cape, and his strong personal style is unforgettable. The high-altitude island is adjacent to the beast-taming island, and the two have always been rivals, someone said. Seeing Kabaji, Moki didn't say anything, because he shouted, "Li Chi!" Ah! The lion howled and slapped Kabaji. Acrobatics mountaineering. Kabaji rides a unicycle and walks on the wall, avoiding the attack of the lion Li Ke. Unexpectedly, the whip in Moki's hand was pulled out with a swoosh. When there is no escape, Kabaji jumped, grabbed a person, and stood in front of him. Acrobatics human shield. Coincidentally, the person who was caught was Buggy, who ran over to watch the excitement. He exclaimed in midair, his eyes staring at him. Hey, gee, what are you doing? Seeing that the whip was about to hit himself. Buggy split into two in a panic, torn apart, snapped. The whip empties. Kabaji grabbed Buggy's upper body and jumped onto the roof, stunned. Hey, Kabaji, why are you using me as a shield? Isn't it despicable? Damn it. Buggy cursed loudly. Waist lower body, still stomping underneath. Divided into two halves. Moki and Li Ji scared Yan Yi out. The crowd below were all stunned. That guy, his body is broken? Could it be clone magic? Wonderful avatar magic? Amazing. Is he an acrobat too? Dressed up like a clown? Hey, Red Nose, what's your name? Red Nose? Buggy's face was distorted by anger. He looked at the speaker, and cursed. You are the only one with a red nose, and your whole family has red noses. Hear Buggy swear. The crowd was not only not angry, but even happier, applauding excitedly. Awesome, what a wonderful performance. I haven't met such a clown actor with personality for a long time. Yeah, being able to play the clown so lively is really a brand new role positioning. Listen to everyone's praise. Buggy, who was about to go crazy, became embarrassed instead. Buggy's eyes flashed with a sinister light, and he said to himself, I didn't expect that I would be so popular, ha ha ha. If this is the case, then the treasure of 100 million Baileys can be obtained easily, right? When I have money, I can buy a ship, and after I form a pirate group, I will lead people to ransack this place. Don't let Shanks, that damned guy, be so proud. Hey, I'm so evil, let everyone see my gorgeous transformation. Only, not waiting for Buggy to transform, call out. There was a scream in the sky, then, boom boom boom. The sudden explosion made the crowd bewildered, and a shell just landed in front of Li Ji the lion. Boom. The flames and smoke rushed up, and Li Kei was so scared that he hugged Mochi. Pirates are coming, on the pier, there was a shout. What? Pirates? Buggy's torn upper body was suspended, and he looked out to the sea, where more than a dozen pirate ships were coming menacingly. Something's wrong. Buggy was shocked. Strange, in the nearby waters, I have never heard of a large pirate group with more than 10 ships. Kabaji frowned in a deep voice. On the pirate ship, the pirates waved their swords and laughed grinningly. Fire. Boom boom boom. Artillery attack. The island where the celebration was being held fell into panic and flames. In the tavern, Leno, who had been watching Mochi and his jugglers, raised his eyebrows slightly. Pirates? Luell's eyes became excited. She licked her lower lip, stood up and said, Leno, can you make a move? Leno said, you can do whatever you want. Luell pulled out 2 guns from the holster around her waist, strode out, and walked out. I'm going too, Kuina said. Crow gently pushed down his glasses and said, I'm going to see the boat. Their recent training has been quite hard. A battle is needed to test the results. Leno handed the 10,000 Baileys to the trembling boss, got up, took a glass of wine, and walked outside. There are panicked crowds everywhere, like headless flies, only a few people dared to take up arms, but they are like loose sand. Leno couldn't help shaking his head, he jumped lightly and came to the roof. Within sight, more than 10 large ships flying the pirate skull flag surrounded the island of Acrobatics in all directions. 5 outlying islands, there are pirates landing. The guards on the island are organizing resistance, but the effect is mediocre. The island of Acrobatics is said to be a kingdom, but it is actually just a loose group of different acrobatic troops. The residents on the island are mainly the families of members of the acrobatic troupe. However, soon, people from various acrobatic troops on the island rushed out and started fighting with the pirates who landed on the island. These people are skilled in acrobatics, and they often perform on different islands, and they have a slight advantage over ordinary pirates. Buggy, Mochi, and Kabaji all joined the battle. It's just that the most eye-catching ones are Luell, Kuina, and Chloe. Where the 3 of them went, the pirate fell to the ground in large swaths. That's amazing, as expected of a member of Hunter's Guild. Come on, awesome, long live the Hunter's Guild. See how powerful they are. The residents on the island cheered with high spirits. Pirate ship. A one-eyed pirate wearing a 3-cornered hat put down his binoculars and said coldly, those guys, who are they? No, I don't know. Waste. The one-eyed pirate kicked his men away, came to the bow, drew out the sword at his waist, and said, tell the people on the island to do it. All pirates, attack. Oh, kill, after a semaphore was issued. Suddenly. Boom. 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 On the island of Acrobatics, each sub-island exploded at the same time, flames soared into the sky, and thick smoke billowed straight up into the sky. The sudden big explosion shook everyone's minds, it's not over yet. The defenders of the islands, who had just fought side by side, suddenly rebelled and attacked the people next to them. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was originally a pirate, ha ha ha, we pretended to be an acrobat troupe. Infiltrated here. The wealth of the island of Acrobatics belongs to us. What? This scene happened on all fronts. Cannibalism made each strange acrobatic troupe immediately wary of each other, and the cooperation was no longer close. No one knows, it is indeed someone who got in. The already precarious line of defense became more and more difficult. Brush. On the roof where Leno was, 2 figures suddenly jumped up, their hands and fingers spread out. Meow. Sam. Meow. Boogie. We're killers, cat brothers. Leno smiled at them. Oh, are you looking for me? 2 cloaked men, one fat and one thin, wore cat claws on their hands, grinning grinningly. The head of the Hunter Guild is ours, meow. Your head must be worth a lot, meow. The Catman brothers, one left and one right, rushed towards Leno. Seeing the prey is close at hand, Kai, the cat people's eyes blurred. It's gone, Sam, meow. Where did it go, meow. The 2 fell lightly, and the cat's claws easily tore through the roof, with question marks on their foreheads. Leno landed on the opposite roof and said, hey, I'm here. The cat brothers turned their heads at the same time. Damn it. You actually tricked us, meow. They jumped up at the same time, jumping, and the speed was extremely fast. Leno smiled. 10 seconds, here we go. The glass in his hand has been scratched left and right. For a real swordsman, even without a sword in his hand, he can still send out a powerful slash. Puff. Brother Maurin didn't know what happened, his chest split open at the same time, blood surged up, and he fell down together with a scream. Ding! You defeated your opponent and found the talent, Cat Power, Class C. Open black lens bracket. Ding! Congratulations to host for duplicating talent, Power of Cats, close black lens bracket. Talent Introduction. Don't underestimate the power of cats under their cute appearance, they're born killers. Ding! You have won 257 battles against your opponent, and you have found the talent, Cat Speed, Class C. Open black lens bracket. Ding! Congratulations to host for duplicating talent, Cat Speed, close black lens bracket. Talent Introduction. Don't underestimate the speed of cats under their cute appearance, they're natural killers. Leno couldn't help shaking his head, 2 garbage talents. Ding! It is detected that the host has similar talents, Lord of Gluttony, Return of Life, Power of Cats, Speed of Cats. Please find more similar talents and integrate them to improve. Okay. As a jigsaw puzzle for Lord of Gluttony promotion, it is not too rubbish. It's just that, for a C-level jigsaw puzzle, it would take dozens of puzzles to get up to the SS level with the King of Gluttony, right? Run away, help, someone help me, woohoo, what? The sound of gunfire, screams, and fighting constituted the battlefield. Leno stood on the roof, staring slightly. The inside should be combined with the outside, breaking down one by one. A pirate who knows the art of war has a dirty heart. As the pirate ship docked, the most elite group of pirates rushed to the island under the leadership of the cadres. The defense line of the acrobatic troop was completely broken. The number of people on the island is more than 10 times that of pirates. However, there is no fighting intention. Buggy, Mochi, Kabaji and others are all running back. A single pirate can kill more than a dozen people. Too unlucky to meet pirates, Buggy complained inwardly. Wait, dangerous. Buggy breaks instinctively, laugh. A sword wave cut across, dividing the ground. Boom. The explosion set off by Janbo scared the people who fled back, and they were warm. Buggy was so frightened that he stared at Leno who was standing in the distance, his little heart was beating loudly. Hey, what are you doing? The windbreaker was light, and Leno was standing on the rock with Dragon Sparrow on his shoulders. He glanced over and saw their anger. What are you angry about? A bunch of trash, Leno said. What? Why do you say that? What, rubbish? You are the rubbish. Everyone was furious. Oh, still ashamed? I thought the weapons you were holding were for firewood. If you are not rubbish, prove it to me. Use your weapons, kill me back, and kill the pirates. The lion Li K opened his mouth and was about to roar, but Leno gave him a look, which made him tremble and lie down like a cat. Why should we listen to you? Kabaji said disdainfully. Why listen to me? It's very simple, whoever crosses this line, I will kill him. When Leno's words fell, so did the knife. Puff! Kabaji, who crossed the line, had his wheel split and fell to the ground. Hiss! There was a sound of inhalation. Kabaji, was he hacked? No one took Leno's words as a joke anymore, he was really killing people. Leno raised his knife flat, pointed at them, and said, Trash, if you want to live, fight for me. Pirates, I treat you as prey, but don't forget, this is your territory. Here, you are the hunters. Leno's infection talent is slightly flooded. A kind of aura emanated from his body, and a turbulent war circle swept over him. Chapter 57 Duplicate Buggy's S's level talent, Swinging Fortune. The Island of Acrobatics. Leno's words resounded in everyone's ears. Infection talent. At the psychological level, it can be conveyed through emotions and infect others. The wind and smoke, the gold and iron horse, and the aura of swallowing like a tiger suddenly filled everyone's heart. Trash, do you want to fight, or be a husband for the rest of your life? Leno asked. Sarcasm can stir up anger. Encouragement can inspire courage. Leno CPU beats everyone. Fighting. No doubt. Under the powerful infection, some people started to shout and raised their swords. These are mainly young people. They are straightforward, emotionally sensitive, and easily mobilized. Hey, what are they doing? Fight. Ha ha ha, are you kidding me? How can a group of weak sheep defeat a pack of ferocious wolves? Lie down obediently. The pirates sneered and rushed towards this place. Fighting. More and more people joined in the shouting. They turned around and faced the chasing pirates with red eyes. The atmosphere is contagious. Everyone, it seemed, began to assimilate. Many voices converge into one voice, fighting. The shouts were deafening. The pirates who were chasing them looked at them in surprise. Atmosphere. Something seemed wrong. Shouldn't these people panic and run away? Sheep, revolt. Do not make jokes. Come on, kill them all. Let them know what a real cruelty is. The pirate leader shouted. Pirates, we are the masters of the island of acrobatics. Get rid of them. Mochi held his whip and was full of fighting spirit. He only felt that after undergoing a baptism, he seemed to have found confidence and courage, and he was full of strength. Ah! Lion Li Ji raised his head high, his purple beard fluttered and his eyes were fierce, as if he had become the real king of the grassland. Kill! Kill! Moki and Li Ji charged first, and the others were also greatly encouraged, brandishing their blades and charging forward. Hey, don't do this, I don't want to go back, don't. Among the crowd, only Ba was screaming. Buggy was surrounded by the crowd and charged. He is like a fish in an upstream, trying to break free again and again. It was photographed again and again. Why is this happening? Buggy wants to cry but has no tears. Leno stood behind, laughed with satisfaction, and said, "Yes, that's it, bastards, go hunting." "Ah, someone help me," Buggy cried. Leno saw him and was amused. Two hot-blooded young people simply picked up Buggy as a cannonball and threw it at the rushing pirates. "Cut him." The pirate leader quickly swung his knife. Buggy shattered and escaped the knife. He scolded angrily. "Hey, don't cut people for no reason, didn't you see that I was thrown here?" "Red Nose, what are you barking at?" Pirate Head asked himself. "Huh? Red Nose?" Buggy exploded with rage. He hates people shouting like that the most. "Give you a taste of Buggy." Buggy put his hand into his pocket, took out the black projectile, and shot at the pirate. "Huh? What's this?" The pirates laughed when they saw the projectile, which was only the size of an egg. "HMPH, that's my special Buggy bomb, and its power is unmatched by other bombs." Buggy smiled sinisterly. Next moment. Boom boom boom. Where the Buggy bullet landed, balls of flames exploded, and the pirates were stunned. So fierce? Buggy's performance boosted the morale of those behind. "Hey, listen to me, waiting for others to save you is never as good as saving yourself." Leno continued to CPU everyone. The Acrobat troop members who have regained their momentum have strength. At least, in the area of East Blue, they who exercise regularly, their personal qualities are definitely better than ordinary pirates. Ah! The lion Li Ji was full of fighting spirit, turned into a wild lion on a moonlit night, and knocked down a dozen pirates in one breath. Slap your hands, bite your mouth. How terrifying is a big lion with a height of 7 or 8 meters going crazy. Plus Mochi, Buggy wreaks havoc. The pirate who was originally a chaser was turned back and pulled out. He was caught off guard and his momentum suddenly dropped. It was obviously a group of weak sheep, suddenly broke out and killed the wolf. The wolf didn't understand? Stupid. Wolves are also life, and they are afraid of death. Kill. The momentum of the acrobatic troop was like a rainbow. Swap offense and defense, chasing pirates and cutting. They can only play against the wind. Once against the wind, they will collapse at the first touch. Leno couldn't help shaking his head. In Pirate World, there are very few pirate groups that can fight headwinds. The key is to see the performance of the captain and cadres. You guys, just wave the flag and cheer. The key is sometimes, when a Conqueror goes down, within the coverage area, tens of thousands of minions all have to lie down and rest. Of course, this doesn't mean minions are useless. Cannon fodder, showing value. More and more people were coerced by Buggy and Mochi's team, and they were encouraged to counterattack. Kuina, Crow, and Luwell each killed a pirate leader. The pirate who landed on this island was beaten until he ran away, crying for his father and mother, fled to the pier, and jumped back on the boat. Ship, sail fast. These guys are crazy. When pirates are not afraid of death, they really are. It's a pity to die. Escaping is called a neat move. They quickly drove the ship out of the dock, hoping to join other pirate ships and regroup. 1. When the people on the island saw the pirates fleeing, they cheered and their morale was high. The taste of victory makes people obsessed. When Leno came to the pier, people along the way gave way to him one after another, and their eyes were no longer the curiosity and anger they had before. But this man was full of magical power, which made them defeat the pirates inconceivably. As expected of the president of the Hunters Guild, the man who defeated Vice Admiral Kuzan and made him admire him. People thought, instead of resenting what Leno did just now, they were full of gratitude. Victory can dilute all complaints. Leno walked to the beach. Facing the sun, he squinted his eyes slightly, looking at the distant pirate ship. Sorry, I want your boat. Starting a business is difficult. The Hunters Guild has just started, and there is a shortage of various funds, but this makes Leno worry. At this time, a group of well-meaning people send over a dozen ships. How could we refuse and let them leave? That guy, what does he want to do? Buggy mingled with the crowd, watching in surprise. He wouldn't be trying to split the sea. Everyone looked in surprise. Leno raised the knife. Frozen, talent, a deep blue light blooms, and streams of cold air are released from the talent. But in the eyes of everyone, a trace of cold air visible to the naked eye escaped from the blade, and quickly froze, condensing into an ice blade. Leno twirled the knife lightly. Under the stab, the frozen throne, one sword Ryu, path of the glacier. The point of the knife fell into the seawater, sudden. A cold wind blows. Everyone felt the cold, hour. The moment the wind blows, there is a crisp sound of freezing. Then, a frozen blue path quickly moved into the distance, like an outstretched ice blue claw. Click. Pirate ship. The pirate, who was still in shock, suddenly heard a sound coming from under the sea. Hiss, it's suddenly so cold, strange, there is still the sun tomorrow, how can it be so cold? Hey, haven't you noticed? The boat isn't moving? What? How is it possible? A pirate, lying on the side of the ship, looked down, his eyes suddenly widened. It's freezing, we're frozen. Don't be kidding, it's summer now, where did the ice come from? It's really frozen, what's going on? Sure. Buggy, Mochi, and the circus troupe all opened their mouths. At this time, the pirate ship sailed hundreds of meters, its side was covered with frost, floating on the ice, motionless. Leno raised the knife, and the ice on it shattered. Return the knife to the sheath. Frozen. The combination of talent and kendo is equally powerful, but the moves need to be developed slowly by Leno. Leno even thought about how to combine the talents of Royal Wind and Frozen to create more powerful moves. With these talents, he and Logia, the only difference is elemental. The flames of war on other sub-islands are still burning. Leno makes arrangements. Kuina and Luwell lead a team to rescue the island in the west. Crow, Buggy, and Mochi lead another team to rescue the island in the east. What about Leno? Why? Buggy complained in his heart. Why should I save people? Complaints are complaints. Buggy still left with Crow and Mochi. As a crew member on Roger's ship, he has all kinds of experience in battles, which is quite valuable experience. He can clearly tell what the current situation is. The pirates who landed on the island also noticed the situation here, and a large number of pirates turned to come here for a decisive battle. This gave people on other islands a chance to breathe. Leno shot. He jumped between the pirate ships one after another, and every time he came to a ship, he slashed down with a knife, freezing the sea. In a blink of an eye, all the pirate ships were trapped by him. When the pirate ship was found to have an accident, all the pirates who landed on the island panicked. Even if they arrived, there were 600 or 700 people. However, compared with the people on the island, there are still too few. Stuck here. Means a war of attrition. Leno didn't make another move, and handed over the stage to the people on the island, unless someone showed the talent he was interested in. Half an hour later, Kuina and the others, each resolved the battle, and captured the captain of the living pirate group, the one-eyed pirate. Win, win, long live the Hunter Guild. The island of Acrobatics resounds as a shout. People use their own strength to protect the island. Leno and Kuina, they got everyone's cheers, think they are heroes to save the island of Acrobatics. People in Pirate World are full of optimism. Just encountered difficulties, but did not extinguish everyone's interest in entertainment. The Acrobatic Island in the middle, the huge acrobatic square, is a performance scene with a stage. Leno, Kuina and the others were warmly invited to the most distinguished stand. On the messy battlefield, the acrobatics contest begins. Everyone was smiling, setting out food and drinks one after another, singing and dancing. The acrobatic competitions were wonderful. Compare. The game ended, it was already night. Buggy won the highest popularity and became the new king of acrobatics, so excited. 100 million Baileys, my 100 million Baileys, Buggy cried to death. He finally had money to buy a boat. According to the regulations of the island of acrobatics, in view of the pirate incident, this year's king of acrobatics bonus will be used for the reconstruction of the island. Huh? What? Buggy, holding the trophy, sticks out his tongue. Hey, wait, that's my bonus. What kind of broken rule is this? This is a rule established by the people who built the island of acrobatics a long time ago, written on the stones of the harbor. Because the prize money of each acrobatics conference is the registration fee of the registered contestants, the money I put together. As a condition, half of the next year's bonus will be given to you. Hearing that there are still bonuses to be won, Buggy didn't worry about it anymore. He already planned to live on the island for a while. He likes the atmosphere here very much, and there are many people cheering for him. So, finally, let's pay tribute to President Leno. Cheers. Oh. The presenter held a speakerphone bug and yelled, and the lights focused on Leno. He got up and waved, accepting the cheers of the people. Let's salute Chloe. Cheers. Oh. Let us pay tribute to the beautiful Miss Luwell. Oh, Miss Luwell. A group of people with love in their eyes. Miss Luwell, I want to propose to you. Miss Luwell, please spoil me. Miss Luwell, please come and flog me, scold me severely, and step on me. The fair-skinned and beautiful Luwell, with her beautiful and sassy temperament, has won the hearts of many people. Let's pay tribute to the lovely Miss Kuina, oh cute. Kuina has harvested many uncle fans, and, let's salute, Buggy the Clown. At the request of the audience, Buggy, who was torn apart, happily stood on the stage, laughing and accepting everyone's cheers. Buggy, Buggy, Buggy. So, everyone, let's cheer together, for our victory. Long live Acrobatic Island, long live the Hunters Guild. Oh, under the lights, performers riding unicycles file out, galloping on the ground and sky, showing off their skills. There are also horse riding, elephant performances, tiger and lion performances, magic tricks, and funny ones. After the closing performance, there was a whole night of carnival. In the wine, various entertainment activities, people forget the pain and enjoy themselves. Cheers, drink, come on, the Big Eater finals are about to start. The contestants are Buggy, Lee K, and Leno. Buggy, Lakey, Leno, with a mountain of food in front of them. This is a kind of meat called bitter sheep on the island. Its meat is definitely the most bitter food in the world. Buggy squinted. Huh, the champion must be mine, Buggy. Lakey. Ah, good jow. Leno. I don't know if this kind of competition can be recognized by the system, judging from Zoro's time. Amidst all kinds of cheers, the host ordered that the two of them eat together. Wow! After taking the first bite of meat, Buggy threw up. What is this? The seemingly delicious mutton was so bitter that he smashed it to pieces. Oh, Leno is so fast, Li Ji, come on, you are the last champion, Mochi shouted. The lion's face was black, and he had to open his mouth wide after taking a bite, breathing hard. Eat, finish eating. The champion is Leno. Since the big eater competition, Leno is the first person to finish eating the bitter sheep. What? Buggy and Li Chi turned their heads and looked at Leno. The food in front of him was already empty. Ruthless, ruthless, he also ate such an unpalatable thing? Buggy and Li K looked at each other, then silently went aside to drink water and rinse their mouths. After eating this meat, for the next 10 days, whatever you eat will be bitter. Leno laughed loudly, with the talent of the king of gluttony. No matter how unpalatable the food is, it will have strong energy. Ding! You beat your opponent. Scan to talents. Swinging strong luck, SS level. Gunpowder Grandmaster, A level. Fission, B level. Funny, B level. Flying knife, C level, 1. Open black lens bracket. Please host choose a talent as soon as possible. Close black lens bracket. Oh, Leno, clap your hands. Buggy's talent? There is actually an SS rank? His Gunpowder Grandmaster, higher than Devil Fruit? Indeed, Buggy does not have the ambition of Shanks, and his dream all along is not One Piece. When he first appeared on the stage, the frequency of playing with Buggy was higher than that of using Devil Fruit. Mostly, Buggy loathes his Devil Fruit, making him no longer able to swim, and missing the chance to find treasure in the sea. Of course he will not deliberately develop. Without any hesitation, Leno chose the SS grade, open black lens bracket swinging strong luck close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding, congratulations to host for duplicating talent, swinging fortune, close black lens bracket. Talent introduction. Uncertain strong luck, 50% chance, let yourself be lucky, 50% chance, let yourself be unlucky, choose, sometimes, you have to agree. Shin Shui Shui. Chapter 58 Copy Talent, Moon Lion Bloodline, Crow's Devil Fruit. Swinging strong luck? Wipe, this talent is a bit of a gamble? Leno thought about it. Buggy's luck is indeed metaphysics. When the luck is over the table, you don't have to do anything, and all kinds of benefits will come to you. For the first 20 years, he was just a little pirate with a bounty of tens of millions in East Blue. Later, he chased Luffy all the way, trying to gain benefits in various ways. In just 2 or 3 years, from a small pirate to one of the 4 emperors. Just a blast of luck. But when he was unlucky, he ran to a deserted island to dig for treasures, and unexpectedly found Marine's secret base, and sent a wave directly. This luck is really volatile. Although it is SS rank, it is a double-edged sword. Fortunately, whether this talent is activated or not can be controlled by Leno himself. Otherwise, it will be a bit of a pit. Swinging strong luck. The increase in frontal combat power is average, and if it is used well, it can have a magical effect. For example, Usopp. Usopp's combat power, before the 2-year special training, was the same as Nami's, mainly paddling. But he was lucky. At critical times, no matter if it is a mistake or a clever move, it can always surprise the enemy. Those wise men with well-planned plans are most afraid of encountering such accidents that are no longer expected. Inconspicuous. It just makes people sick and uncomfortable. So, good times depend on Zoro, bad times depend on Luffy, and desperate situations depend on Usopp. Luck is also a part of strength. Leno looked at another system prompt. Accept Buggy's talent. And Lion Niche talent, ding. You beat your opponent, and you have scanned for talent. Moon Lion Bloodline, grade B. Ding. Congratulations to host for copying talent, Moon Lion Bloodline. Talent introduction. From ancient times, the blood of the Moon Lion family, bathed in the moonlight, can awaken wildness, transform into a moon lion, and gain 30% enhancement in speed, strength, Haki, etc. Note. This form will consume vitality. Those who are not strong-willed will easily lose their minds, and will die of exhaustion after going mad. Use with caution. Stupid lion. Actually has lunar lung blood? Isn't this the talent of the fur tribe? Leno was surprised. Little Rabbit Garrett's Moon Lion transformation is quite handsome, beautiful and pretty. B-level intensity, Moon Lion Bloodline, the strengthening increase is 30%? What about SSS level? Strong. This kind of increase is average for the weak. For example, Lion Niche, even if its growth rate is 100%, it will be limited by the foundation. But to Leno, 30% increase in all attributes? It's okay to FK Kuzan, right? Unfortunately, this talent also has flaws. Like Luffy's enhancement, it will consume vitality. Whenever, it will be quite cool to get a longevity talent of the longevity species. Leno thought to himself. Speaking of it, the ancient times of the pirate world, like the blank 100 years, is a very mysterious history. Ding. It is detected that the host has similar talents, Lord of Gluttony, Life Return, Cat Power, Cat Speed, Moon Lion Bloodline. Please look for more similar talents, Fusion Upgrade, 1. These talents are closely related to physique. After they are fused, the new sulfur monosulfide level talents formed will combine and strengthen the advantages of these talents. By the time, Kaido, who is the strongest creature in the world? Leno looked forward to it. He opened his system panel and looked at the updated information. Open black lens bracket hostname. Leno close black lens bracket open black lens bracket real age, 18 years old close black lens bracket, existing talents. Armament Haki, SSS level. Yufeng, SS level. Frozen, SS level. Swinging Fortune, SS level. Gluttonous King, S level. Conqueror's Haki, S level. Sword Heart, level S. Artisan Soul, level S. Infection, level S. Observation Haki, level A. One Heart Sword, level A. Memory, level B. Return of Life, level C. Moon Lion Bloodline, grade B. Power of a Cat, grade C. Speed of a Cat, grade C. Gambling Technique, grade D. Strength Evaluation. You must be a top position in the Palace of Vice Admiral, with top-level armament Haki, the appearance of a Demon King, the heart of swordsmanship, 3 elements in 1, unlimited potential, and outstanding memory, but the real strong need blood and fire. Let's evolve, boy, the unruly wind and the ice of winter bless you, the future is yours. Leno shook his fist. Unless Garp is defeated, or Garp can be promoted to Admiral, otherwise, in terms of strength evaluation, he will have to stay in Vice Admiral for a while. Evaluation is evaluation, battle is combat. We should not be too superstitious about evaluation, just look at the data and not talk about reality. Leno went through a fight with Kuzan. I have a clearer understanding of the game between the top powerhouses. If the short board is too obvious, it will be targeted by the opponent. In battle, factors such as changes in mentality, environment, state, etc., will determine the outcome. Leno defeated Kuzan, relying on the powerful potential in the red-haired Conqueror's Haki, the effect of knowledge killing. The next time we face each other, Kuzan must pay attention to this point and adjust the way of fighting. Certainly, Kuzan will adjust, and so will Leno, and he is growing and evolving at a speed beyond ordinary people's imagination. By the way, I forgot that Kuzan resigned. Where will he go? Unfortunately, there is no contact information for him. Leno shook his head. The contact information of One Piece World mainly relies on phone bugs. Leno can't always make a phone call to Naval Headquarters and directly ask the people in the headquarters, where is your Kuzan going? Although, Leno would love to try it, but after thinking about it, forget it. With this incident, Hunter Guild and myself have earned enough fame and prestige. This is already quite profitable for the just started Hunter Guild. Next, develop in a low-key manner. Going to punish Marine again would be too embarrassing and easy to be missed. 28. Pier. In the sun the waves rolled up the snowfoam, and the seabirds soared past. The people on the island bid farewell on the shore. Hey, Buggy, you really don't want to join our Hunters Association, Leno said. Do not, Buggy immediately refused. I'm the one who wants to be the captain myself. If I'm someone else's younger brother, Shanks will definitely laugh at me. Leno smiled and said, really? I heard that there is a treasure in the place we are going to. Treasure, treasure? Buggy's eyes light up. Really? Okay. Buggy turned his back, pinched his chin with his hands, and thought in his heart, if it's for the treasure, it's not impossible. Also, even if there is no treasure, if I try to steal a ship from him, it will still make a lot of money, I'm really insidious. Because of the island of acrobatics, the prize money was used to rebuild, so that Buggy's dream of buying a boat was once again shattered. But Leno got more than a dozen ships from the pirates, which made Buggy jealous. Buggy turned around and said, okay, I agree, but I still want to bring Mochi, Liji, and Kabaji. Buggy sometimes still has brains. He boarded the boat alone, weak, and he was very guilty, so he had to bring a few people with him, so as to have a companion along the way. Leno said, if they agree, no problem. Although Kabaji was hacked by him last night, his injuries were not serious. After getting up, he charged forward and chopped down many pirates. Facing Buggy's invitation, Mochi and Kabaji refused directly. If the pirates break through Acrobatic Island, they probably would have fled with Buggy, but now they don't. Joke. They are on the island, they control a small island, eat delicious food, drink spicy food, why go out for an adventure with Buggy? Even in the original plot, the relationship between these two guys and Buggy is split and combined. After Buggy is beaten by Luffy, the two were also fighting for the position of captain, fighting to the death. At this time, they had just met and hadn't formed a deep friendship, so naturally they didn't want to be with Buggy who didn't even have a boat. Besides, Elegia, it's not a good place. There are demons there. A real demon. First heard that Marine completely erased the location of that island from the map, and no one can go there. Mochi, Kabaji, you talk to me. This made Buggy very angry. He thought that these two people didn't want to leave, so with this kind of words, no one would lie to him. HMPH, what demon? I, Lord Buggy, am a gorgeous demon slayer. What a bunch of cowards. Buggy came back angrily on a duck step, and boarded Leno's boat. The ship set sail. Farewell to the island of acrobatics. However, a flag began to flutter over the tavern on the island of Acrobatics, and the bloody black dragon fluttered in the wind. The name of the tavern was also changed to Hunter Tavern. From today onwards, this will be Hunter's Guild, the stronghold on this island, and drinks are free today, said the tavern owner. Outside the tavern, people cheer. Oh, it's amazing, Dad, I'm going to be a hunter when I grow up, said a child. On the sea, the breeze is gentle, a fleet sails. Leno took the information from Crow's interrogation. Oh, Scarlet Fleet? Crow pushed down his glasses and said, these are not pure pirates, but semi-armed merchants. Semi-armed businessman? What's that? G leaned over, wanting to find out more information and facilitate his actions. Crow said, a semi-armed merchant, caddy, refers to a person who has legal business qualifications, has a certain amount of force, and will hoist the pirate flag to plunder when encountering a merchant ship. His identity is between a merchant and a pirate. Convert. What? That's cunning, Buggy said. He said in his heart, I will do the same when I have a boat in the future. Crow continued. Semi-armed merchants will have the backing of the kingdom to help sell and hide the stolen goods. Sometimes, they will pretend to be pirates and go to the enemy country to plunder or attack the enemy's merchant ships. Leno said. Scarlet Fleet, who is behind it? Kingdom of Oikot, Chloe said. Oh, an old acquaintance, after all, it is the country with the highest overall national strength, ranking first in East Blue. 2 years ago, Jamal 66 entered East Blue and invaded the kingdom of Kokia. There was Oikot behind him. Since then, the two sides have had an arms deal. Leno nodded slightly. What Crow said back then, the secret worth 1 billion Baileys, refers to this. Crow inadvertently learned that Ruin in the Spider Tavern was a part of the arms transportation of the kingdom of Oikot. He designed an accident, causing the other party to lose ordinary munitions. The golden armored knight who was with Ruin back then came to trouble Crow to find out the whereabouts of the ammunition. By chance, Han Nuo killed them first. The kingdom of Oikot dared not make a statement and let it go. The Scarlet Fleet, on the surface, is the kingdom of Oikot, and the largest is the merchant fleet. In private, it is a slave ship that transports arms, smuggles contraband, and attacks enemy countries and captures slaves. They will attack the island of Acrobatics this time, because they have received a big order to capture 10,000 slaves. Huh? So much? Buggy was surprised. 10,000 people? What, not a small amount. The island of Acrobatics is not a member country of the world government, and the world government will not care about these people's attacks. Where will they send these slaves? Luwell asked curiously. That guy doesn't know, he's only in charge of catching, and someone will hand over to him, but he heard that he is going to build a bridge. I always feel that it is deeply involved. Leno smiled and said, where are their treasures? Where are they? Hearing. Treasure. Buggy's eyes lit up. Yes, where is the treasure? With such a big fleet, there must be a lot of money? Do not, Crow said. On the contrary, these people don't have much money, and most of what they get is handed over to the behind-the-scenes messengers. To put it bluntly, he is still a daily wage earner. That one-eyed one is a little hidden, on an island not too far from here. He said there is still a devil fruit. Devil fruit? Leno moved. He looked at Crow and was obviously moved. Buggy was also excited, shouting layers of ying. Leno said, go to the island first, and solve the problems of these pirates by the way. What are you going to do about it? I'm a kind person. They like to catch slaves, so let them be slaves. Leno smiled. Rebuilding Alia requires manpower. I will give them a chance to make meritorious deeds. Crow said, I do have a plan. Some of the cadres in the fleet are the noble heirs of Oikot. Should be able to exchange some money. Hey, is this blackmail? Buggy said. No, this is us. We can't bear to see their father and son separated, destroying a harmonious family. Leno speaks righteously. What? Buggy was speechless, and said in his heart, evil, too evil, more shameless than me. Crow, you are responsible for this matter, Leno said. Okay, I'll go too. Luwell raised her hand. Leno glanced at her, knowing that she wanted to go back to Oikot, which was her hometown, and nodded. Okay, Luwell is familiar with Oikot, the two of you will handle it. In the middle of the sea, a remote island, Leno and the others found the one-eyed pirate's private stash, the 2 boxes in the cave. A box filled with gold coins, treasure. Buggy holds the box and has the other box contains calligraphy, paintings, and documents. It turned out that the one-eyed pirate secretly recorded the list and accounts of the Oikot nobles who had business dealings with him. This made Crow excited. With these, he was going to play a big game, and he wanted to blackmail the entire Oikot. Leno took out another small box from the box. After opening it, there was indeed a devil fruit inside, shaped like a pineapple with a mysterious spiral pattern. You said you have read Devil Fruit illustrated book, right? Leno asked Luwell. She nodded lightly, carefully identified, and said pleasantly, this, it is recorded in the illustrated book, is the cat fruit ancient species giant cheetah form. Zone? It's okay. Leno threw the box to Crow and said, it's yours? The biggest feature of Devil Fruit One Piece world. The grotesque Devil Fruit has many strange powers. Although the taste is bad, as long as you eat one, you can get unexpected abilities. It is equivalent to an extra shortcut on the road to the strong. Ancient species, very rare. The cat fruit also fits well with Crow's attributes. Crow took a deep breath and picked up the devil fruit. He bit it off with a bad face, but he still suppressed the strange taste in his mouth and swallowed it whole. I vomited a few times after eating. Kuina asked curiously, can you transform? Crow wiped his mouth, closed his eyes and felt it, to touch the force rushing into his body. Then, his body began to swell, tearing off the clothes on his upper body, and soon turned into a 3-meter-high orc. Giant cheetahs, similar to cheetahs, bigger, stronger and faster. Crow jumped lightly, jumped more than 10 meters high, rushed suddenly, struck with cross claws with both hands, and tore a giant tree apart. After getting the giant cheetah fruit, Crow's strength has been raised by at least one level, reaching the level of lieutenant colonel and colonel of the headquarters. Give him special training for a period of time, and there will definitely be improvement. It is not a dream to reach the vice admiral level after awakening the two-color Haki. Back on the beach, Leno looked at the bundled pirates and said, Trash, do you want to live? All the pirates nodded hurriedly. Then, put on the shackles and work for me. Those who perform well will be rewarded and free. After some interrogation and discrimination, the boat left the island and split into 2 routes. Along the way, Crow and Luwell headed to the kingdom of Oikot. Along the way, Leno, Kuina, and Buggy escorted about 600 slaves to Elegia. Chapter 59 Board the Island of Music, the red-haired Diva Uda. Big event. Marine Vice Admiral Kuzan has officially resigned and his whereabouts are unknown. Kaido of the Beasts was arrested on his own initiative, and he came for Kuzan. 4 Emperors Kaido, recruit Kuzan, Charlotte Linlin, hope Kuzan can be her third husband. On the sunny sea, Leno sat on a chair, crossed his legs, and read the newspapers delivered by the newsbird. Marine agreed to Kuzan's resignation, making him a free man. Although, he was defeated by Leno. However, everyone knows that Kuzan's strength is so strong that he can definitely compete with the 4 emperors. So, Kaido, Charlotte Linlin, etc., who have the ambition to dominate the world, have thrown olive branches. Even at the expense of throwing himself into a trap, Kaido wanted to speak out to the world, telling Kuzan how much the Beast's pirates needed him. Of course, this is not the first time Kaido has done this. Anyway, Marine's torture device can't kill him. Charlotte Linlin even betrayed herself to seduce Kuzan. The other 4 emperors, Whitebeard didn't speak. Mainly, he can't shout, Kuzan, come be my son. The last 4 emperors didn't care about it. He's dealing with Shanks' troubles, and he's on his last legs. Red Hair Pirates, not yet at the level of 4 emperors, but under the leadership of Shanks, played guerrilla. These people, showing talent and potential, should not be underestimated. Except them. I heard that the World News Economic Society, the Revolutionary Army, etc. are planning to contact Kuzan in private. This summer, Kuzan's decision will, to a certain extent, greatly affect the future pattern of One Piece world. Where is Kuzan going? Became the drama that received the most news attention. It's a pity, I didn't write down Kuzan's contact information at the time. Leno shook his head. Who can predict that Kuzan will jump out of Marine's comfort zone? Leno put down the newspaper. Suddenly, he was keenly aware of it. The invisible breath, passing by oneself, spread out. Okay. Leno was pleasantly surprised. Observation Haki. Sitting under the mast, Kuina, who was meditating, frowned tightly, revealing a look of pain. The sound of the sea, the voice of people, etc. all kinds of voices drilled into her mind, giving her a splitting headache. She didn't need to look, but she could feel it. Leno got up suddenly, and felt that Buggy was bragging about himself with the Redeemer. Finally, after practicing for so long, she awakened observation Haki. Fine. There at sea. The voice Kuina heard was not too much, and it was relatively normal. Unlike Kebi, who awakened after the Summit War, all he heard was the wailing and painful voices of sailors. Her pain was not severe, she can bear it, she has always been a strong girl. Leno had already told Kuina what Kozaburo had taught him, as well as his own experience. She knows what to do. Slowly sense and control, let the scope of observation Haki shrink gradually, and merge with yourself. Leno watched Kuina's brows stretch, and knew that she was beginning to adapt to this power. In Leno's view, the first awakening is very important, and the kind of pain is helpful for the subsequent practice. After a while, Kuina opened her eyes with joy on her face. Awakened? Leno asked concerned. Okay, Kuina nods. Going to sea with Leno, fighting, training, and fighting again, her growth is faster than the training in the dojo. Leno said. Let's play a dodge game, it is good. Kuina took a breath and put on the blindfold, coming. Leno makes a move and grabs Kuina, she jumped lightly and easily dodged. Leno speeds up. Kuina leans on observation Haki and keeps dodging. But Leno is getting faster and faster, she starts to panic, then observation Haki fails and Leno grabs her arm. Information is a power that can only be used in peace, you have to keep in mind, Leno pointed out. It's not that Kuina is weak, but that Leno's speed is astonishingly fast, and her knowledge and color can't keep up. Leno said. After awakening, start with special training on the 2 points of control and quantity. Based on his own experience, Leno concluded that there are 4 directions for exercising knowledge, armed, and conquerors. Control, volume, intensity, recovery speed. Control, as the name suggests, is the manipulation of Haki. Depending on personal development, more practice makes perfect. Increments. The simplest, direct, and most effective way is to use it constantly. Continuous depletion and recovery can expand the Haki container in the body, thereby increasing the amount of Haki. And to increase the strength, you need to fight against the strong with Haki and temper yourself in the collision of battles. Like Leno wrought iron, the bar is the way to go. As for the recovery speed, it depends on the individual's physique. The faster the recovery of physical strength, the faster Haki's recovery speed will be. Leno thought about it. Kuina had just awakened, and training with herself made little sense. In combat, it is more valuable to pick an opponent who is slightly stronger than yourself, and only then can you accurately discover your own weaknesses. In the battle against Mahawk in the Balati restaurant, Zoro directly killed him instantly, and he didn't get any experience at all. It's just that he has seen the tip of the iceberg of the real #1 swordsman in the world, and has a clear goal. Kuina doesn't need it. She has seen Garp, Kuzan, and Leno fight, and is deeply touched. Hey, Buggy, get the Catman brothers over here. Leno yelled at Buggy on the next boat. Huh? Oh, the Cat brothers, after being hacked by Leno, were tied up as pirates by the villagers and joined the Redemptor team. The Redeemer is the name Leno gave to those slaves. Slave, the word is always bad. The Redeemer, who atones for his sins and regains his freedom and new life, is much more positive. Our 2 days passed. Evening. The sunset glow reflects the sea. Tired birds fly to distant islands. From a distance, it is a beautiful island. Overall shape, it's like a huge crown worn on the sea. Facing the fleet directly is the second half of the crown, which is in the shape of a ring, surrounding a large piece of land and extending towards the sea. It's a beautiful bay. The clear water reflects the ruins, the collapsed buildings, sinking into the water, and there are Madara's colorful fish swimming. A gentle slope, climbing to the front half of the crown, gradually raised, it is a large dense forest. Middle position behind the forest. A huge city that has been reduced to ruins can be seen faintly. City further back. It is a mountain wall that looks like a hand, straight into the sky, blocking the sea breeze that often blows in this sea area. Here is the world-renowned island of music, the kingdom of Alia. Look, it's land. Thank goodness I finally saw land. This sea area is too weird, even if there are sea kings, even the sea current is different from other places. Yeah, there isn't even a marine base around this island, it's really sparse. What's so strange? I heard people say that there are legendary demons on this island. What demon? Don't be kidding, Alia destroyed the country, wasn't it done by the big pirates, the red-haired Shanks and the others? That is, the world government personally condemns him and calls him a country destroyer. The Redeemers were lying on the side of the ship, looking at the land, talking about it. After leaving the island of Acrobatics, after 5 days of sailing, Leno and his party finally arrived at Alia. On the way, they were attacked by ocean currents, storms, and sea kings, and it took more time than expected. A total of 17 ships docked, breaking the tranquility of the island. Forest not far from the coast. A burst of birds startled Alesia, who was destroyed. Buggy held his chin and looked out over the island. Yeah, come to think of it, the news said Shanks did it. How? That guy. It's definitely not his style to destroy the country and plunder. Buggy knows Shanks. When they separated at the beginning, they had different ideas. Shanks acts similar to Roger, pursuing companionship, freedom, adventure, and caring about enjoying the process. Buggy, not the same. He went to sea to get all the treasures of the world. Roger is on the team, and he doesn't understand why Shanks and other members of the pirate group are not interested in treasures. Shanks will destroy the country for the treasure? Absolutely, absolutely impossible. But, no matter what, there must be some secret treasure hidden on this island, right? The riches of the kingdom, yes, there must be some treasure hidden here, somewhere. Buggy was suddenly excited and full of energy. Hey, Buggy, let those guys build a camp nearby first, stay overnight, and don't wander around, Leno said. Buggy, who was thinking about going to the island to explore the treasure, lost his face and muttered in his heart. For the sake of the treasure, I will be patient for a while. When I get the treasure and steal a ship, I will leave here. I will be a hunter, and pirates will be much freer. Buggy commanded the Atonementer to build a camp, and the bonfire was quickly lit on the shore, and the tent was cut down. Leno glanced at it and said to Kuina, Kuina, keep an eye on it, I'll go to the island to have a look. Okay. Kuina nods. Leno jumped, stepped on the whirlwind, and went deep into the island. Leno is not worried about Kuina. Along the way, she has also grown a lot. In addition, the Redeemers are in groups of 2 and are all wearing hard shackles. If they want to escape, they will not be able to escape, let alone resist. Leno also dug up Buggy and the Cat brothers as supervisors. They know how to bully people quite well. A shepherd needs only a whip to herd his sheep. What did F say? This is too cruel. These redeemers are slave catchers who specialize in catching people as slaves, and they are villains who eat the flesh and blood of their own kind. Their behavior is 10 times worse than pirates. A city full of ruins, collapsed boulders, and sculptures in the shape of various broken musical instruments. It can be seen faintly that the prosperity of the past. The former royal palace, it is also the music hall of Elegia. Among the ruins, there is still a safe place. Gordon. Gordon. A crisp and pleasant child's voice echoed in the corridor, carrying a trace of anxiety and fear. Zero looking for flowers. Oh no, a little girl rushed into the house. Inside is a music classroom, stood a piano, and next to it sat King Gordon, who was once Elegia. Gordon stopped playing, looked at the little girl gently, and said, "What's wrong? Uda, what happened?" Uda took a breath and said anxiously, "Hi, pirates. A group of pirates are coming outside." "Ah, what? Impossible." Gordon couldn't believe it. After that incident, Elegia seemed to be forgotten by the world, without any ship or human cause. Uda said, "Really, if you don't believe me, come and see." She was both scared and a little excited. On this island, only she and Gordon are left. For a little girl who has seen all kinds of excitement in the sea, it is a very cruel thing. Especially, being betrayed and abandoned by my most respected and favorite friends. Emotions such as loneliness, and sadness have filled her heart for more than a year. Fine. With Gordon's wholehearted company and his music teaching, she gradually came out of the shadows, but there was still no smile on her face. Now, a group of strangers suddenly came. Even if they were pirates, it gave Uda and the world on the island a little more vitality. Maybe they will have news about Shanks, Uda thought. Think Shanks. Her complex emotions are intertwined. Gordon got up quickly, and Uda went outside through the corridor. Look, it's the boat, the smoke from the campfire. Uda pointed in the direction of the coast. The place where they live is a relatively high place on the island, with a good view of the bay. Seeing the ships and the slanting smoke, Gordon's expression changed. This is not good. There are so many boats coming. They don't seem to pass by chance. They came prepared. Those people will explore the island. Are they doing it for money? Or something else? I thought that after that incident, the world government and marine would completely block Elegia. Gordon looked dignified and worried. He said solemnly to Uda, who was standing on tiptoe, "Uda, no matter whether they are pirates or not, they must not be discovered." "Okay." Uda nodded seriously. Although she is young, she has taken risks with Shanks and the others, experienced a lot of things, and her thinking is more mature than her peers. Next moment. "Hi everybody." The sudden sound frightened Gordon and Uda, and they jumped half a step back in shock at the same time. His eyes followed the sound. A handsome young man in a windbreaker came into the eyes of Gordon and Uda. He stood on the stone pile in the corridor, with 2 knives stabbed obliquely in his waist, with black hair and a smile on his face. "People? Be?" Gordon and Uda were stunned. The words, "don't be discovered," seemed to be floating around. Then, they were found? Gordon, Uda, startled the emoticons. EH, 2 exclamations resounded through the palace. The decibels were so high that the building seemed to shake. Leno covered his ears. Sharp, what a musician, the voice is really loud, comparable to the roar of a lion. After recovering slightly, Gordon immediately stood in front of Uda, staring vigilantly at the mysterious young man in front of him. "You, who are you? Why are you here?" Leno jumped lightly, jumped off the stone pile, and said with a smile, "You are Gordon, right? A member of the Kingdom of Elegia." "How do you know?" Leno took out the cut newspaper from the inner pocket of the windbreaker and showed it to Gordon. World musician, King of Music Island, Gordon. In the newspaper photo, Gordon was playing the piano. Before Leno came to Elegia, he still did a lot of homework. He smiled and said, "Let me introduce myself. My name is Leno, the president of Hunters Guild." Gordon squinted at the paper, which was reporting his last concert. He didn't relax his vigilance at all, and said, "Hunters Guild, the pirates?" "No, we are not pirates, we are hunters. Hunters who keep hunting for goals and dreams." Leno said. He took out the Hunter Guild 4-piece recruiting promotional set that he carried with him. He blew. The wind was not turbulent, but the 4-piece suit was blown up and floated in front of Gordon. Uda, who was hiding behind Gordon, peeked at this scene, and his eyes were filled with surprise and curiosity. Leno winked at her, scaring her back again. Gordon was also surprised inside, devil fruit? He remained calm and flipped through the next 4-piece suit. Purpose, condition, rule, difference? It really doesn't look like a pirate. Serious pirates, who would use this? Gordon simply turned it over. He was not a pirate, and the attitude of the other party was relatively gentle, and he could talk. He relaxed a little and asked, "What are you doing here?" Leno said, "I'm here to rebuild Elegia." "What? What?" Gordon and Uda exclaimed again, but in their tone, there was no fear, but disbelief and surprise. Rebuild Elegia. Chapter 60 Devil Fruit's Conjecture, the deal between Kuzan and Morgans. It has been more than a year since Elegia was completely destroyed in the destruction of the country, incident. The city is completely destroyed, and the people are completely destroyed. It was a night of fire and disaster. As the king, Gordon still clearly remembers how the disaster happened. After the destruction of the country, incident, Gordon and Shanks chose to tell a lie in order not to hurt Uda's young heart too much. But this matter cannot be concealed from the world government. The people of the world government know what happened. The demons that were sealed on the island were released. Because Gordon lied, the world government thought that the person who released the demon was dead, so he didn't pursue it anymore. And the world government, in order to eliminate the impact of this incident, cooperated to add the crime to Shanks. Compared with people destroying islands, demons destroying islands will make people despair and fall into more controversies. At the same time, the world government completely erased the location of Alia from the chart. And for a period of time, any ships are prohibited from entering this sea area. They also brought some sea kings and placed them in the sea area to attack passing ships, spreading the news of sea monsters here. In this way, no one wants to come to Alia anymore, the risk is too great, the danger is too great. But, today, just today, a fleet came to Alia, which has been quiet for a long time. And, a young man, standing in front of him, spoke the words to rebuild Alia. Incredible. Shock. Surprise. Worry. Waiting for emotions, Shahzad's reaction was on his face. As the former king Alia, Gordon naturally hopes to rebuild the country and the island and restore prosperity. Who doesn't worry about the ruins all day long? However, he was worried again. These people will bring new destruction, or wake up the sleeping demons on the island. In any case, Gordon, 680, still invited Leno into the reception room, served coffee, and hoped to talk in detail. Uda sat opposite, watching with vigilance and curiosity. She has two colors of hair, red on the right and light pink on the left. Wearing headphones on the head, wearing a yellow knee-length skirt with a bow. The feet in short boots swayed gently on the chair. Who would have thought that this cute, small, innocent child actually hides a terrifying power? Devil, open black lens bracket taught musica close black lens bracket, devil of songs, a collection of human sorrows, musical souls? Has the power to destroy the world. Gurgur Guo is the channel through which it connects with reality. All these factors made Leno equally curious. He thought of the legend about devil fruit. Inside every devil fruit, there is a devil hidden. Those who swallow it will be cursed by the devil and cast aside by the sea. Could this legend be true? If this is the case, is there not only Song of the Devil in the world, but also other demons? Leno had a whim. Is the devil fruit in One Piece world the embodiment of part of the power of the devil, sent to reality by them? A long time ago, people thought that devil fruit was unique, but this argument was shaken with the appearance of artificial devil fruit. Through the bloodline factor technology, Vegapunk, Geisa, and Jamal 66 respectively produced fruits that can empower people. This shows that the power of demons can be stolen. Could it be? These demons, like Song of Demons, are sealed, or exist in a certain illusory space and sleep. They link themselves to reality through devil fruit. Those who swallow the devil fruit will be bestowed by the devil and gain powerful power. But, in the meantime, will they pay the price, vitality? Or the soul of the eater will be marked by demons. Once dead, will be harvested by the devil. Think carefully. The awakening of devil fruit, the ability to change the surrounding environment, is similar to the assimilation world of Song of the Devil. Or, in the awakened state, people are already half demons. In fact, devil fruit will indirectly affect people's emotions. This is especially evident in Logia, the tyranny of lava, the rage of fire, the mystery of wind, etc. People take devil fruit and develop devil fruit. Is it a process of gradually approaching the devil and being assimilated? If this guess is true, then, what happened to Uda's Song of the Devil? She didn't wake up, but was controlled instead, causing the destruction of Alia. Consciousness. That demon has the consciousness to destroy the world? It appears that more needs to be known. Hunter Guild, if you want to take root here, Singing Demon is an unavoidable monster. Leno thought to himself. He said another thing. This is an explanation about Hunter's Guild, renting Alia. I hope King Gordon will seriously consider it. Yes, rent, Alia is a member country of world government. King Gordon, registered in the world government, is known as the King of Elegy. If Leno and his party take Alia by force, they will invade the territory of the countries that joined the world government. This will inevitably attract the troops of the world government. Why is the island of Acrobatics visited by pirates? And there are no pirates coming to occupy Alia? A non-member country and a member country, that's the difference. Take Loch Dal, Doflamingo, Alabasta, Darius Rosa respectively. With their strength, they can obviously take it by force, so why do they have to make a conspiracy to frame the king? They are members of the world government. If it is an invasion, the world government will not sit idly by. But if the king abdicates himself, it belongs to the country's internal affairs, and the world government has no reason to intervene. Therefore, Leno wants to lease Alia and let Gordon continue to be king to deal with the world government. Like Carl Hayworth in Glassball Island. She is not the king, but everyone knows that she is the one who controls the Glass Ball Island. After reading the loan agreement, Gordon was silent for a long time, letting Uda go out first. He wanted to have a private chat with Leno. After Uda went out, Gordon sighed deeply. He didn't know whether he should tell the young man in front of him the truth. But in the end, he decided to speak out. El Regia has always sealed a demon. It is a sad song. Only happiness can make it fall asleep. Leno appreciated Gordon's candor, saying, I've heard, taught musica. I've met Shanks. Shanks? Shanks, did he send you here? Gordon was excited. No wonder. Gordon understood immediately. In his mind, a self-compliment formed. Shanks still couldn't let go of Uda, so he let Leno come to Elegia to rebuild Elegia. Leno didn't say anything. Gordon made up a story by himself, and filled in the loopholes in Leno's words. Leno knows what happened to Elegia, Shanks told him too, right? I see. Gordon looked at Leno as if he was looking at himself. He said relaxedly, if this is the case, you know the danger of Elegia, and you are still willing to come here. Leno said with a smile, I have a little understanding of music, but I really don't want to see the island of music disappear into the world. Music can relax people, and it is also a delicious condiment for dream hunters. Great, so true. Gordon was overjoyed. He applauded. I haven't heard such words for a long time. Elegia, need new vitality. Zhao Wuxian smiled, stretched out his hand and said, then, I hope we can have a happy cooperation. Leno and Gordon signed the Hunter Guild agreement to lease Elegia. Time. 99 years. Conditions. The Hunter Guild is responsible for rebuilding Elegia, and pays 50 million Baileys to the royal family every year for expenses such as heavenly gold. This agreement needs to be reported to the world government for record. The world government stipulates that it will not interfere in the internal affairs of the member states, but it is necessary to notify the world government of major events. Leno brought the phone bug, and Gordon dialed the phone number that had been useless for a long time, communicating with the world government. As the king of the franchise country, he is qualified to have a direct dialogue with the top officials of the world government. Word was quickly reported to the 5 elders, Marie-Joy. 5 elders, who was discussing about Kuzan's resignation and who needed to replace him, was stunned when he got the news from Elegia. Elegia, where are you from? It's the country that was destroyed. In order not to worry other countries, the regiment maintained its status as a member country. However, isn't the country's way of communicating with the outside world destroyed? It's Leno, and his Hunters Guild, that guy. 5 elders had a black forehead, and his complexion was not very good looking. Leno defeated Kuzan, which had a very bad influence on marine and world government. Now, in order to clean up the influence, we can only blame the resigned Kuzan, criticizing Kuzan for forgetting his heart and so on. But this kind of influence is only on the surface. What makes Marine and 5 elders even more troublesome is the resignation of Kuzan. Really disgusting 5 elders. For the instigator, 5 elders naturally had a bad face. Fortunately, Leno is not a pirate, and did not do any major events such as destroying the country or looting. After discussing with the world government, they decided to conduct an investigation. Moreover, within the world government, quite a few people are very interested in the propaganda of Hunter Guild. It is believed that the introduction of new forces can be regarded as a solution to the problem of rampant pirates. Alicia, do you have that thing? The ancient monster that has been sealed forever, the incarnation of disaster, the devil. In my opinion, a Hunter's Guild with a resident is safer than a Hunter's Guild that overflows with honey. Those pirates who roam around cause more harm than the 4 emperors with fixed sights. That's why the 7 warlords of the sea system was formulated to fix some big pirates to a certain area to deal with other pirates. It's easier to control and observe. Once there is a threat, it can be eliminated immediately, instead of running around like Roger. Well, then let the Hunters Guild stay in Elegia, and if that thing comes out, they will be able to support it. However, we can no longer let the Hunter Guild be in the dark. We need to grasp more about its movements. The 5 elders unanimously agreed to send an undercover agent to the open black lens bracket Hunter Guild close black lens bracket. Point 0. Who is going? I heard that CP has a few good guys. Let them go. They haven't shown up in public yet, it's safer. Lucci? Okay, World Economic News Headquarters. It is a big ship. On the mast and the side of the ship, there are newsbirds. They are the messengers of the pirate world, bringing information and news. Inside the big ship, there is a printing factory and a series of equipment. Because you can move at any time. Always wanted to capture Morgan's world government, but never succeeded. Captain's interior. Morgans showed a smile as he held the secret information obtained by bribing high-level officials in the world government. Alesia. I thought Hunter Guild would take this opportunity to enter the Grand Line, but I didn't expect. What a patient, fun guy. Well, tomorrow's front page news, again, Hunters Guild, settled in Elegia. Put down the intelligence. Morgan smoked his cigar, exhaled the smoke, suddenly thought of something, picked up the phone bug, and dialed a number. Hey. A slightly lazy expression appears on the phone bug, which can imitate the face and demeanor of the person on the other end of the phone. Kuzan. Where are you? Morgans asked. An island, vacation. Huh? You bastard, the world is crazy because of you, and you actually went on vacation. Is there a problem? Morgans choked and muttered, I'll quit working one day and go on a retirement vacation. He shook his head, he knew his character, he would not retire, he said, you think again, join us. Do not, on the beach, Kuzan, lying under the ice umbrella, directly refused. Okay. I have some news, you must be interested. About Hunters Guild, Morgans said. Oh, what about the conditions? Kuzan has dealt with Morgans. His intelligence, sometimes more accurate than Marines, required another exchange of information. The condition is that when you decide to join that organization, please let me know first and accept my exclusive interview. Morgans grinned. Exchange an outdated piece of news for something more valuable. He is, for a journalist, East Blue, Kingdom of Oiket. The ships of Crow and Luwell were surrounded by a group of soldiers just as they landed. The leader of the soldiers glanced at the flying blood-colored black dragon flag on the ship, and the Hunters Guild on the sail. Okay. That's them. His eyes were cold and stern, and he said, catch the living. The news of the island of Acrobatics has spread, and the Scarlet Fleet suffered a disastrous defeat, which caused an uproar in the upper echelon of Oiket. Arguing for revenge. I heard that there was a Hunter Guild ship in the sea area, and immediately sent people to arrest it. As the most powerful country in East Blue, the king and nobleman of Oiket, that is quite arrogant. Certainly. This kind of arrogance, not only Oiket, the future king of the Goa kingdom, wants Garp to kneel down. The soldiers rushed forward. Crow pushed the glasses lightly, and the palm of his hand turned into a beast. He no longer needs cat claws, and his hands can become sharp claws. This sharp claw is more flexible than a cat's claw. Exactly, try it out, new power, 1.5, wait, Luwell stopped him. She looked at the leader of the soldiers and said, Uncle Norn. Okay. The leader of the soldiers was surprised. He looked at Luwire, looked carefully, and was somewhat familiar, and then looked carefully, surprised. You are. Luwell said, it's me, Luwell. The impression of the soldier leader gradually merged with the little girl in his memory. He hurriedly stopped the soldier and stepped forward excitedly. Luwell. You've grown up so much, Crow was curious. He is my mother's younger brother, Luwell said. Crow thought about it. It seems that Luwell is a little out of touch in Oiket. Crow quickly overturned his guess. It's not that Luwell has some energy, but she is quite energetic. Her mother's family is actually a great nobleman who controls the education system of the Oiket kingdom, and is known as the family of scholars. The atmosphere of confrontation just now suddenly changed, and it became the scene where Luwell and Uncle Norn recognized their relatives. Hearing that Luwell said that her mother died of illness, Norn sighed for a while. They were also very helpless when they let Luwell's family flee. K-Rog did too much and played a trick on the king. Father has always missed you, but there is no whereabouts of you. Norn warmly invited Clow and Luwell to the family. Luwell coughed lightly and said, well, let's meet the king first. Nuo-en slapped his forehead and realized that he was here to arrest people. He frowned and said, what are you doing seeing the king? Luwell was embarrassed. It's hard for her to say, come back and blackmail you, right? Crow said, we caught some guys who slandered the kingdom of Oiket and engaged in the arms and private slave business. Our president believes that Oiket is a kind country, and it is impossible to do that kind of thing, so he sent us to ask for clarification, so as not to cause unnecessary misunderstandings to the world government, and it is not good for everyone. Chapter 61 The Homeland of Nami and Nokagao, Paramisha Song Fruit. Kingdom of Oiket, Pier. Norn looked strange, and glanced at Luwell. He whispered, don't you know that it is the celestial dragons in the world government who want to capture the slaves? Crow's face was calm, Leno, and he could of course guess it. How can 10,000 slaves be digested? Celestial dragons, world government. However, since the abolition of slavery, countries all over the world have denounced this kind of behavior. Once it is exposed, it will be a huge stain. There are some things that you know, everyone knows, but they just cannot be exposed. The world government will definitely disassociate itself from it, and the kingdom of Oiket does not want to get involved, which is why it has the value of extortion. Alia needs money, food, and other materials to rebuild. The Hunters Guild has just been established and is poor and empty. As the big country of East Blue, Oiket, is it too much to support it? Too much. Expose yourself. Although Oiket is the largest country in East Blue, it is not without rivals. A few years ago, they launched a war and annexed the nearby island countries, which provoked the armed intervention of Korkia and other countries. Wicket was almost disabled. It was Jamal 66 who fell from the sky and invaded Kokia to resolve the crisis. In the end, the world government intervened in the mediation, and the kingdom of Oiket was much more peaceful. The one-eyed pirate captain recorded all of this, and secretly left photos, as well as the relevant nobles involved. These evidences were left by him to protect himself because he was worried that he knew too much and would be abandoned by the kingdom. Now, it is obtained by Guo Noklo. Leno and Crow have pinpointed Oiket in the world government, and they will never hope that the inside story and the truth will be exposed. Norn sighed when he saw Luwell and Crow insisting on seeing the king. Okay, I'll take you to the king, time flies, Leno and his party have been in Elegia for 6 days. Leno asked Buggy, who led the atonement, to clean up the ruins of the outer city and build his own residence. Broken cities, not everything, need to be overthrown and restarted. Gordon took out the original urban design drawings and plans, and Leno passed them on to the designer of Glass Ball Island. When designing the Hunter Guild banner and badge, Leno met many designers of Glass Ball Island. Professional matters should be left to professional people. Leno invited them to come to Elegia for investigation, and design a new city combining the old music capital of 20. Crow and Luwell are going well. Originally, King Oiket was still very arrogant. But after Crow easily defeated what he called the strongest fighter in the kingdom, and took out some photos, King Oiket bowed his head. King Oiket called the nobles behind the Scarlet Fleet and held an internal meeting. In the end, 1 billion Baileys were collected and handed over to the Hunter Guild, in the name of supporting the reconstruction of Elegia. Other than that, the Kingdom of Oiket also promised not only to give money, but also to support Alicia's restoration and reconstruction in an all-round way. In other words, in addition to funds, support will also be given in terms of food, building materials, and craftsmen. However, for this part, Hunter Guild will pay 80% of the purchase price. It's like saying, the support funds of the Oiket Kingdom were indirectly taken back by them. Okay, it seems that the Kingdom of Oiket did not lose anything. In fact, the king really did not lose money. The bulk of the money, food, materials, and craftsmen were all paid by the nobles behind the Scarlet Fleet. Not only did the king not lose money, but he also made money. The loan returned to Ochkot will be distributed by him, but those nobles absolutely don't want to get a penny. Everyone earns. Win-win. As soon as the news came out, the East Blue countries were shocked. A group of friends from the island country who were bullied by the Oiket Kingdom on a daily basis were dumbfounded. Kingdom of Oiket has changed sex? It used to be, isn't it a thief? Why are you cowardly? Would they actually support other countries and engage in construction? I heard that it was the Hunters Guild that got hold of the Oiket Kingdom and blackmailed them severely. Yes. Well, I have a friend from the Kingdom of Oiket. The East Blue countries, the aristocratic circles, are all discussing, gloating. The joys and sorrows of human beings are not the same. Some people's happiness is built on the pain of others. Seeing the Kingdom of Oiko and the nobles being brutally slaughtered, those who were often bullied by them before opened champagne to celebrate. The Kingdom of Oiket would admit defeat, Hunters Guild. It's really not easy. My friend said that the kingdom's #1 warrior was severely injured by a punch from Hunters Guild, Crow. Hundreds of soldiers are no match for him. The president of the Hunters Guild is even more powerful. He single-handedly wiped out the legendary Scarlet Fleet. So strong. Nonsense, but the man who defeated Marine Vice Admiral, how could he not be strong? I heard that even the world government is afraid of him. Contact Hunter Guild to see if we can invite them to be our guards. The Hunters Guild is recruiting. How do I sign up? I'm going. All the kingdoms of East Blue have paid attention to Hunter Guild and are very interested in this new force. Shimotsuki Village, one hard dojo, apprentices, intense training. Hey, the newspaper is here. It's about Leno and Hunters Guild. Sokka ran in from the outside. Huh? Leno? Did he do something serious again? Hey, Sokka, show me. The apprentices who were training stopped one after another and gathered towards Sokka, who was holding a newspaper, scrambling for his newspaper. Today's Leno is a celebrity in Yixin Dojo. He was already very popular in the dojo. He went to sea with Kuina and got a send-off from everyone. They used to train together and laugh together. Now that Leno has become famous and is in the limelight, all the teenagers are excited and feel proud. Sokka was holding the newspaper and was feeling proud. Zoro jumped up, leapt over the crowd, and snatched the newspaper from his raised hand. Hey, Zoro. You bastard, Sokka hopped, and the other boys chased after Zoro. Zoro made a face at them, turned around and bumped into someone, and Sokka and the others who were chasing him also stopped. Old teacher. Zoro rubbed his bumped nose, raised his eyes, and it turned out to be Shimotsuki Koshiro, who was elegant and easygoing with his arms folded. Koshiro picked up the newspaper. Hunters Guild will rebuild Elegia as the headquarters of East Blue. Wicket shows the greatness of a big country, and 1 billion Baileys support the reconstruction of Elegia. Kingdom of Goa supports Elegia's reconstruction and donates 10 million Pele. The news content is all about Elegia and the Hunter Guild. East Blue countries, voice support, Jumeda Islands. Kokoja Village. Orangery. Belmel sat in a chair, smoking a cigarette and reading a newspaper. Is it the Kingdom of Oiket? She looked at the newspaper, but her memory went back to 7 or 8 years ago. She was a Marine major at the time. He was ordered to go to the country to investigate the Scarlet Fleet incident. But in a small town, there was a fierce battle with pirates. There were heavy casualties on both sides of the battle, and Belle fell into a near-death state. When she was in despair, the cry of the baby woke her up. Nami. Stop. Nuo Kagao, you can't catch up with me, hee hee. There was laughter outside. 2 children, running over, interrupted Belmel's memory. She looked at Nami and Nuo Kagao, and laughed. They were the babies who sent her to the brink of death and brought her back. After that terrible battle, she took the initiative to take responsibility, left Marine, and returned to her hometown of Kokoja village to raise Nami in New Okagawa. Belle Meyer said, "Hey, what are you guys doing, Belle Mel?" Nami ran over, hugged Belmel, and asked curiously, "What are you looking at?" She stood on tiptoe, leaned forward, and she, who had already learned to read, Hunter's Guild, Belmel, what is that? New Okagawa walked to the side and said, "I heard that people in the village are talking about this, it seems to be very famous." Belle Meyer said with a smile, "It seems that it caused quite a storm in the world." Huh? Really? Nami has a small head, big doubts. Belle Mel, laughing and rubbing her head, grand line. On a small island, the dilapidated villages and towns suffered bloody massacres, and people fled in fear. Damn humans. The tall blue-skinned Murloc kicked away the man who was clinging to his feet, and then killed his wife. In the eyes of the evil dragon, the flame of vengeance was burning, and he shouted to his companions, "Kill them all, and avenge Big Brother Tiger." Oh, he was not grateful when he was rescued from prison by Jinbei, on the condition of himself becoming the 7 warlords of the sea. He even spurned Jinbei, who compromised with humans, thinking he had forgotten Fisher Tiger's blood feud. Therefore, he left the Sun Pirates with the Murlocs, who were full of hatred for humans just like himself. In the Paradise section, they attacked weak villages and killed everywhere. In the world of pirates, there are many non-human and humanoid races, such as Murlocs, Fur tribes, long-legged tribes, Titan tribes and so on. Among them, Murlocs are new humans that combine the characteristics of fish and humans. They are stronger than ordinary humans, and their combat strength in water will double. Relying on this, the evil dragon and the others are elusive in the sea, making Marine hard to guard against. Seeing, the village was burning. Call out, the shells fell suddenly. Chirp, Arlong, Marine is here. The dragon, which was walking toward a baby, looked back, and a row of warships appeared on the sea, firing at it. The dragon was defeated by Leno and became cunning. When he met an opponent he couldn't deal with, he fled into the sea. It was found that there were a lot of warships coming. The dragon greeted his companions, jumped into the sea, quickly swam to the other side, and escaped by boat. Escape from the Marine hunt. Crew, breathe a sigh of relief. Hey, dragon, there are more and more Marines chasing us. If this continues, we will attract Marine Vice Admiral. Yeah, and, like this, it doesn't change the Fishmen Island. What we want is life on land. All the crew members talked a lot. The evil dragon stood on the bow, thinking about the way out. At this time, a newsbird flew by and dropped a roll of newspapers. The dragon raised his hand to catch it and opened it. Suddenly, he laughed and said to his partners, "Let's go to East Blue and build a paradise that fits us." East Blue? Yes, that's the weakest in the world. A paradise that belongs to us. But, how to get there? Of course, forcing the calm belt, said the dragon. Hearing the calm belt, the crew became worried. Even if it was a Murloc, the calm belt was an extremely dangerous place. The dragon pirates are heading towards East Blue. Elijah. On the sea. Boom. A huge ocean current rushes towards the sky. Then, a huge manatee-shaped sea kings with black and white Madara spots emerge from the sea and slowly approach the island. Buggy, the redeemers of the island, look no further. These guys, whom they regard as the king of the offshore, and sea monster, have recently become food on the island. Damn it, I'm being asked to work as a supervisor and work every day, and I don't have time to go into the island to find treasure. Buggy felt resentful. Red Nose, is Leno back from hunting? Uda appeared out of nowhere, startling Buggy. Then, he reacted violently and yelled at Uda, "You little brat, don't call me Red Nose, I'm Buggy, call me Master Buggy." "Ah, sorry. Uda quickly apologized, then squinted her eyes like a crescent moon, stuck out her tongue, and said, "Master Red Nose." "You little brat." Buggy was so angry that he jumped up. If the other party was not a child, he shot Buggy directly and corrected, "Master Buggy." Slightly, Uda grimaced. Buggy folded his arms, stared and sulked, "Humph, really, just like that bastard Shanks." "Shanks?" Uda was surprised, and hurriedly said, "You know Shanks?" "Of course I know, we used to be on the same boat, but he's the person I hate the most." "What, you like Shanks?" Uda's expression darkened, and he said disappointedly, "No, I also hate Shanks the most." "Huh? Really?" Buggy was happy, and quickly said, "You also hate the Incense 500X, don't you, that annoying bastard who keeps laughing?" "Okay, ouch, bosom friend." Buggy became enthusiastic and said, "Uda, why do you hate Shanks?" Boom. The shaking of the ground interrupted the conversation between the two. They turned to look. A huge manatee, coming out of the sea. Wait for it to fully surface. It turned out to be Leno, holding the sea kings like a hill with one hand, and came to the shore. The huge weight is daunting. His footsteps fell, the stone bricks shattered, and the ground trembled. That guy is definitely a titan, right? What a terrifying power. Buggy couldn't help complaining. Boom. Leno put sea kings on the ground. Leno raised his hand, facing sea kings, cutting. No blade flow, chaos blade. A sea king's that is more than 100 meters long and weighs 100 tons. In an instant, it was divided into different parts. Recently, Leno is hunting the sea kings in the nearby waters to prevent them from attacking ships and affecting the navigation of sea ships. Maybe it's because he eats more fish and sea kings, and he awakened an E-level talent, underwater breathing. When Leno is in the water, his pores will replace the mouth and nose, filter the seawater, and breathe the oxygen in it. Currently, it can last an hour. After an hour, you need to surface for air. Although the level strength of this talent is low, it is quite useful in pirate world. Moreover, he keeps eating fish and sea kings, and he can also evolve this talent to extend the duration in the water. This talent is the accompanying talent of Lord of Gluttony, which made Leno realize that talent can be awakened through training. The Redeemer responsible for the food, the bee chrysalis, came up and began to process the ingredients. Leno looked up and saw Uda running towards him and said with a smile, "Uda, what's the matter?" Since reaching an agreement with Gordon, the two often discuss how to rebuild Alia. During this period, Leno told Uda stories such as Snow White, listened to her singing, and became friends. Uda is actually very naive, simple, and has no scheming. Leno has the talents of slick tongue and infection, which can increase affinity and favorability, so he is naturally popular. Uda said happily, "I wrote a new song, do you want to listen to it?" "Okay." Leno nodded with a smile and sat on the ground. After Leno and the others came, Uda was the happiest, and her singing had audiences again. "Thinking of you rings loudly in my heart, generate infinite power. If you're looking for it, then wave the bond that never changes." The melodious singing voice flutters with the wind. Those who heard the singing stopped what they were doing and listened quietly. Leno squinted slightly. His aura vaguely captured a special kind of fluctuation, spreading outward from Uda's body. Then, he saw the person who heard the singing, and began to fall down and fall into sleep. Paramecia song fruit, through singing, people's souls are pulled into the illusory, singer's space. Chapter 62 Facing the Devil of Songs, copying the SS's level talent, musicality. Open black lens bracket singer space close black lens bracket. Leno opened his eyes. Here is Alia, who was once never destroyed. The magnificent city and the deserted streets made the buggy and the sinners who were pulled in very surprised. Where is this place? Looks like it's Alia. Kuina, who was training with a knife, also looked around in surprise. Uda's singing voice is still echoing, a sincere collision between two hearts. Such a joy. Everyone turned their eyes, and a stage was raised in the center of the city. Little Uda, standing in the center of the stage, makes me laugh out loud. Seal away the pain of tears, Wind Vice Admiral it connects. Flying high and high with the wind. Notes appeared out of nowhere, surrounding her, strange and beautiful, illusory scene, extraordinarily real. Her singing voice doesn't seem to belong to this dimension, making everyone feel happy involuntarily. Bring joy. Leno sat on the ground, folded his arms, listening to the singing. The fruit of singing can mobilize people's emotions through the transmission of singing, which is very similar to the talent of infection. The troublesome one is that open black lens bracket devil of songs close black lens bracket, Leno pondered. How should I solve this? At present, he is not sure of winning. At least 2-4 Emperor's level battle forces must be assembled and coordinated at the same time. Song of the Devil is not powerful, but weird. During the battle, Vice Admiral can also cause damage to it, but it is ineffective. The only way is to let it transform from nothingness to reality, and then attack the same position at the same time from the two levels of nothingness and reality. Here's how Shanks, Luffy solved it. It can be seen from this that if it weren't for this weirdness, the level of Song of the Devil would be slightly stronger than the 4 Emperors. If it is really invincible, it will not be sealed. By the way, there is another fruit. For the song fruit, some restraint. Silence fruit. It's just that after Rosinante died, the fruit disappeared. You can find it slowly. Leno was actually in no hurry. That demon is still in the seal. As long as Uda doesn't touch that piece of music, it won't be released. Song fruit, it is a link. UTA is the anchor. That song is the key. Only when the 3 conditions are met, Song of the Devil can break the seal and come to reality. However, Uda's fruit ability is indeed extraordinarily powerful, and it seems to be more pervert than awakening. Could it be that this devil fruit has been in a super awakened state? It's just that it's the demon that awakens, not Uda. If you can kill Song of the Devil, can Uda get all the force areas sold in Gurgur? Forget it, there's really no need to take risks at the moment. Uda's mentality is immature, the problem left by Shanks. Leno couldn't help shaking his head. The choice Shanks made at the time could not be wrong or right, it could only be said to be a helpless move. How does it feel? I'm rubbing Shanks. Leno looked up and looked at Uda. In the past 2 days, my mood has been much better. In the original plot, Uda's going to extremes has something to do with her being abandoned and her lonely heart. Too much contact with fans also made her fall into the trap made by herself, without a more correct understanding of the world. Now, with Leno and more people, it may not be impossible for her character to have some changes. Well, children still need to be taught. Although Gordon is good, he is too spoiled and does not pass on correct values to Uda. Actually, isn't Kuina the same? Leno glanced at Kuina. She was also listening to Uda's singing. Buggy and the Redeemers have already started dancing. Although there are no dance steps, the atmosphere is quite joyful. Why did you give up looking for it? Why do you keep fighting alone? Hey, what kind of future do you realize? The dream is already in your hands. Uda didn't finish singing and fell into a coma. In reality, Leno opened his eyes. He immediately reached out and hugged Uda, who fell asleep because of being too tired. Use the devil fruit ability. The physical consumption of the eater will be doubled. Therefore, Uda can't sing songs for too long. Usually after 2 or 3 songs, he will fall asleep. This time she pulled everyone into the singer's space, and the loss was even greater, so it was only half a song, and it ended directly. Ah, why did I fall asleep? Strangeness. It seems to be a dream. But, the dream is so real? Did you do that too? Me too? Leno let them continue to work. Took Uda, came to the palace, handed it to Gordon, put it on her bed, and covered her with a quilt. Out of the bedroom. Leno said, Gordon, just in case, let me keep that piece of music. Gordon thought Leno and Shanks were friends and had no doubts that he could know these secrets. Shanks can tell this kind of secret to Leno. The two must be very good friends. Thought Gordon. Shanks trusted Leno so much to take care of Uda, I should trust him too. With this mood, Gordon took a deep breath and said, okay, come with me. Gordon took Leno to the underground of the palace, the complicated passageway, like a huge music box. The sound insulation here is pretty good. After walking in, all sounds from outside are completely isolated. The two came to a closed library. The bookshelves are full of books, most of which are related to music. In Rob's logbook, there is a description here. He praised this place as the world's largest music treasure house, and every bookshelf records the history of music. Those are. Leno saw a tall stone statue standing in the corridor of the library, with a rough shape and very strange. Gordon said, the guardian statues are said to be sleeping demon servants, and some say they are guards guarding the demons. Leno walked to the stone statue. He seemed to hear a voice, whispering in the dark. Very strange. He raised his hand, pressed it on the stone statue, exhaled, calmed down, and listened slowly with observation Haki. Leno recently dived into the sea, not only to hunt the sea kings, but also to train himself, especially Haki. His observation Haki has the most obvious growth, reaching the limit of A level, and seems to be almost to S level. The devil. The devil. The devil. Leno vaguely heard a few words. Demon. What is it? Is the statue talking? What are they trying to tell themselves? What message is it conveying, related to the devil? Leno was curious. Song of the Devil is so powerful, who sealed it here? According to Gordon, Alia has a history of thousands of years, and the seal of the devil existed thousands of years ago. Leno calmed down again. This time, he released Conqueror's Haki, and observation Haki intertwined and slowly merged together. Haki fusion. This is the power Leno discovered when he awakened observation Haki. The essence of knowledge killing is the fusion of Conquerors and knowledge color to form a special band that interferes with the opponent. However, there are very few people who can do this step, which requires talent. With the fusion of Conqueror's Haki, traces of crimson light overflowed from Leno's body, lingering around. Suddenly, he got it. Devils are born out of sorrow, become strong in anger, and kill in despair. Devils die of happiness, and be safe. 2 short words were repeated continuously, as if it were a curse. Then, in an instant, in the darkness of ultimate, something seemed to open its eyes, looking towards Leno, exuding an aura of sadness, anger, and despair. Boom. A strong sense of oppression, invisible, suppresses Leno's will, and wants to pollute Leno's spirit. Those sad, angry, and desperate songs, like the whispers of the devil, kept passing to him. Leno squinted slightly. Confront unknown beings in the darkness. The Conqueror's Haki wrapped around him like a crimson flame, burning the incoming breath. Devil of songs. Leno's mind turned quickly. How did it come out? Leno suddenly remembered that the reason why Uda destroyed Alia was because Song Demon gave her the song. Here is the place where it is sealed, and the opponent can infiltrate his own power out of the speed without going through Uda. Careless. Leno calmed down quickly. The matter has come to this point. Regretting is useless. He stared into the darkness, facing a pair of blood-red eyes full of sadness, despair, and anger. His eyes were calm. Negative songs flooding around, constantly trying to infect him. Only. Leno's infection talent is also shining, releasing power, and Conqueror's Haki forms a defensive layer. A demon? Only this ability? Leno's words sounded in the darkness. Although it can transmit part of the power, it cannot affect or interfere with reality, but can only infuse the spirit. Through the immersion of the spirit through the song, so as to assimilate the other party. No respond. Only the songs of despair, anger, and sadness can be heard endlessly. Is there no consciousness? Just a collection of negative songs? No, it should be a consciousness of pure sadness, anger, despair. Negative songs, which contain the creator's extremely negative emotions, are listened to by sad, angry, and desperate people. Leno suddenly understood the meaning of the two sentences the stone statue conveyed to him. In other words, it is not conveyed by stone statues. It is the person who sealed the Song of the Demon, leaving it as a reminder to future generations. Songs to kill people also appeared in Leno's world, and some death songs were widely spread. The devil of song, taught musica, may be an awakened person who once ate the devil fruit of taught musica. In extreme sadness, anger, and despair, he created the tune and endowed it with soul and consciousness. What if the new song Devil Fruit Eater is always happy, and peaceful, and can appease open black lens bracket the devil of song close black lens bracket? It's an idea, you can try it. There are still many songs in Leno's memory, and the talent of photographic memory is very useful. Leno's thoughts converged. He looked at the demon of songs, who was sealed and had nothing to do with him except to crazily indoctrinate negative songs. You infect me, come and go without being rude, let you try my infection. Leno slowly pulled out the demon sword open black lens bracket Muramasa close black lens bracket. Bloody backblade. In this darkness, it is extraordinarily bright, blooming faintly. Leno rarely uses it, but at this time, it is very suitable to use it. Leno held open black lens bracket Muramasa close black lens bracket with both hands, staring at the darkness, observation Haki spread, sensing the existence of the opponent. In the illusion, the devil of song seems to be elementalized. Leno's arms are wrapped around armament Haki. Open black lens bracket Muramasa close black lens bracket hardened, and the blood-colored blade presents a strange dark red. Like dried blood, but it emits the flowing Haki light. One sword, demon sword, song of sin. Leno swings the knife. Laugh. The light of the knife was like thousands of blood-black silk threads that suddenly burst out, piercing the darkness from the Muramasa in an instant. The singing voice that permeated the ear suddenly dissipated. The darkness that shrouded the eyes instantly shattered. Leno opened his eyes. His hand was still on the stone statue. He was still in the underground library, as if nothing had happened. My soul, being pulled into its space. Leno withdrew his hand. Ding. You took the opponent out of the way, and the talent was scanned. Music, SSS level. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the host for duplicating talent. Musicality, close black lens bracket. Talent introduction. You will acquire world-class pitch, rhythm, and perception of music. The system prompts, letting Leno know that he has indeed fought against Song of the Devil, and repelled it just now. A trick? Remember that time with Shanks, it was also a trick. The system judged that it was a bug, right? That's why only one talent is scanned. The talent of the Devil of Songs is related to singing. There must be talents in voice, musicality, art, and musical understanding. Don't be too greedy, a world-class sense of music is enough to guide Uda, Leno thought to himself. Mr. Leno. Leno. Hearing Gordon's call, Leno turned his head and found Gordon beside him anxiously, and said, I'm fine. Gordon breathed a sigh of relief, and said, just now you stood still, thinking. Well, I face it, Leno said. Okay, Gordon nodded, reacted, his eyes widened, and said, you and that. Leno said. Well, it tried to infect my consciousness, and I cut it with a knife. What? Gordon was dumbfounded. At his level, it was difficult to understand Leno's words. Mr. Leno confronted, taught musica, and slashed it? Isn't this, too powerful? Gordon brainstormed. No wonder, Shanks will let Mr. Leno come to Elegia, he is definitely Elegia's savior. As King Elegia, Gordon witnessed open black lens bracket taught musica close black lens bracket, massacred his own people, and destroyed his own town. How can there be no hatred in the heart? It's just that he is weak and powerless. Now Leno, the light cat's underhanded words, gave him great hope. Wang Qian Zhao was in a good mood. Mr. Leno, this is open black lens bracket taught musica close black lens bracket, the score that summons it, Gordon said. Okay. Leno took the sheet music, glanced at it, and a feeling of sadness to anger to despair, jumped on the paper. Whether it is the music, lyrics, or handwriting, it is full of the creator's emotions. Who wrote the song? Leno asked curiously, do not know. In the records, some say it's the creator of Elegia, and some say it's the creation of Song of the Devil. Leno put away the tune and put it into the handle of open black lens bracket Muramasa close black lens bracket. Muramasa's knife handle is half empty. Muramasa intentionally designed that when the knife is swung, the airflow will flow with the small holes in the handle, making a strange sound. Gordon, I'm suddenly interested in music, do you want to teach me? Leno said as he walked out of the library. Surprised, Gordon said happily, of course. The two quickly came to the music classroom. Then, Gordon asked Leno to improvise and see how he went. Gordon is not only a king, but also a world-class pianist. He can tell whether Leno has singing talent or not. Some toss. Gordon gave it an average rating. Leno coughed and said hastily, well, I think my musical sense is much better than the voice. Well, try it. Starting from the intonation, Leno's performance amazed Gordon. He can accurately judge every note. Then there's rhythm, etc. Genius. Mr. Leno, you are a genius in the music field, and you will be a great composer. Gordon shouted, as excited as if he found a dusty treasure. Then, in addition to the daytime exercise, Guo Nuo trains the intestines. In my spare time, I study music theory with Gordon. He has the talent of photographic memory, and the progress is extremely fast. This day, the craftsmen and supplies supported by the Kingdom of Oikod arrived in Elegia after a 10-day voyage. The designers of Glass Ball Island came with the boat. The reconstruction of Elegia has officially started, and there are busy construction sites everywhere. Chapter 63 Looking for the Sea Restaurant Barati, Dragon Pirates, Landing. The blue sea is endless. The blood-colored black dragon flag fluttered in the wind. Swing the knife. Swing the knife. Swing the knife. Kuina persists in the training of swinging the knife 10,000 times a day. She used Leno's dragon sparrow. The heavy blade weighs nearly 500 kilograms. It is very difficult for ordinary people, not to mention waving, even tilting. Barati, a restaurant on the sea, has a big reward for its opening. Leno looked at the newspaper. This is what he came out with. Sanji. Of course not. Sanji, who is still a kid, is really not worthy of Leno's dispatch. What he was looking for was Redfoot, Jeppu. When the East Blue Hunter headquarters in Elegia are rebuilt, there will be a grand banquet and a chef will be needed. Hey, Leno. Does the Barati restaurant you mentioned really have a lot of food? Uda lay on Leno's legs, bouncing. Leno smiled and rubbed her head. Uda's eyes sparkled, both excited and looking forward to it. Leno came out this time, bringing Kuina, Uda, and Buggy. And an old ship doctor Cole. Colban is the ship doctor of the Scarlet Fleet. With his outstanding medical skills, he stood out from the Redeemers and got his freedom. Of course, the so-called freedom is just no need to wear shackles. It is of great significance to Uda to finally go to sea again. Leno feels that the vast sea and the open world can broaden people's vision and mind. Let Uda see the world more, it may not be beneficial. Especially children, it is time to shape the three views, and they need correct guidance. The adults in Pirate World are not very responsible. Leno squeezed his chin. Perhaps, after East Blue's Hunter headquarters takes shape, a hunter school can be built. There are still many good seedlings in East Blue. Leno looked at Uda. She was running around on the boat, having a great time. Only Buggy is sitting cross-legged on the bow, thinking about life depressedly. Why? You must bring me out. Wow, what a great opportunity. The more Buggy thought about it, the more angry he became. A month has passed since the construction of Elegia, and Leno goes out to sea again, allowing Buggy to see the opportunity to steal the ship and escape. Unexpectedly, Leno chose his general, Gas, so angry. It exploded. Buggy can't sit, lie down, can't lie down, stand, anyway, he feels uncomfortable all over. The reason why Leno took him was because of his luck and funny history. On a ship, there must be a mascot to enliven the atmosphere, otherwise it will be too depressing and psychological problems will arise. Well, Buggy, about equal to mascot. When Buggy was thinking about whether he should wait for the opportunity to escape, he caught a glimpse of a black smoke in the distance from the corner of his eye. What is that? Buggy's upper body flew to the pedestal of the mast and picked up the binoculars. Hey, Buggy, anything new? Ship, a wrecked ship, said Buggy. Shipwrecked at sea. It is an unwritten rule to save everything that should be saved. Even in this era of great pirates, because no one knows whether it will be me who will be in trouble one day. Of course, there are also pirates who will take advantage of this. But such pirates, even the pirates themselves, despise them very much, which breaks the rules. Pirates will also be in trouble, and the possibility of being in distress is even higher than that of a merchant ship. When Leno and the others arrived, half of the burning ship was submerged in the water, only a person was lying on the upturned end of the bed. He was seriously injured and covered in blood. Leno jumped onto the boat. Check out his injuries, they are serious. Buggy, who followed, gasped. Hiss, who did it? Awful, terrible. There were knife marks and bloodlines all over the deck, and the corpses were piled up as the ship tilted. There are men and women, old and young, massacre. After seeing this scene, Buggy felt cruel. Hey, Buggy, he's still alive, take him to the ship's doctor, Leno said. Huh? Why me again? Buggy pointed to his nose. Leno said, you didn't do it. Did you want Kuina and Uda to do it? How can you let children do this kind of thing? Be sad face, 000. Leno continued. Buggy, won't your conscience hurt? Pain. It hurts. What does this person have to do with me? I didn't cut it. Buggy complained inwardly. But the person was under the eaves, so he had to bow his head, obediently picked up the seriously injured person, returned to the ship, and handed it to the ship Dr. Cole. Leno leaned on the ship's side. The tilted ship was about to sink. He squinted slightly, looking at the wound on the ship. The bite marks don't look like they were made by humans. Leno comes to Cole's infirmary. How about it? It's hopeless. Half of my stomach was bitten off by some monster, and it's a miracle that I can survive till now, Cole said. Give him an injection, and he will be awake for a while. Let's hit. Cole took out a dark blue injection and poked it in. The effects of the medicine spread rapidly. The comatose man opened his eyes and was a little excited when he saw a human being. Save the ship. The ship has sunk, and you are dying. Tell me the enemies you have encountered, maybe I can help you avenge you. Kaba. Leno told him the cold and cruel reality. The man discovered his situation. He was silent for a moment, and said, monsters. A group of fish-like monsters attacked us from the bottom of the sea. Leno raised his eyebrows and said, Murloc. The man shook his head and said, I don't know, they're very cruel, and the leader is a guy named Dragon. He gritted his teeth suddenly, his face flushed with excitement, his eyes were bloodshot, and he said, revenge, please help me to avenge. Leno said calmly, I'm Leno, the president of the Hunters Guild. If you want to entrust the business, you need to pay something. Hunters Guild is not a charity and needs to have some income. You can't live by blackmailing Oikot all the time. Always catch a sheep and squeeze it, and the sheep will lift the table. The kingdom of Oikot has always been closely related to the world government. Hunter Guild? The man was surprised and said, I've heard of you. He began to breathe rapidly, knowing that he was running out of time. He quickly said, give me a pen and paper, I have a large piece of land in the Jumida Islands. I use that land as a commission. Give the letter to my steward. Leno nodded and said, I have videophone bugs here, you can dictate directly, which is more real than letters. It is good. The man said, hurry up, they have grabbed our chart and may go there. After recording the video, the man left his pocket watch as a token and closed his eyes. Leno and everyone held a sea funeral for him, allowing his body to enter the depths of the sea with the sea water. Hey, Leno, are all pirates really vicious? Uda asked suddenly. She thought about Shanks then. Huh? The cruel ones are the pirates, Buggy said. Boom. Leno punched him on the head, making a bag. Ah, pain, pain, pain. What are you doing? Buggy crouched down holding his head. It really hurts. Leno rubbed Uda's head and said, not all pirates are evil, because people are very complicated. Complex? Leno smiled and said, Uda, try to be the right person. As long as you use your own thoughts, choose the important part and live it, you are the protagonist of your life. However, people still can't break away from the group. Don't think that you can do everything by yourself. There is no limit to power. That's why you need partners and friendship. Let every lonely heart get closer to each other and believe it. Bondages, memories, friendship, these things are not so fragile, because they will disappear if you leave. Leno searched for words and poured chicken soup to Uda. Believe? Uda looked out to sea. The memory goes back to Shanks the night they dropped her and left. Why, the smell of us playing at the beach that day. Why, will disappear in the past, when I sing the same song. It must have brought back your memory. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? The singing is floating on the sea. New World. Shanks held the newspaper, his face darkened. Hunter Guild, Leno, that guy, why did you go to Elegia? Just like news from New World, it takes a lot of time to reach East Blue. News from East Blue, coming to New World, needs more time. What's more, Shanks and the others are currently being hunted down by the 4 emperors and are still on the run. The other members of the Red Hair Pirates also stood beside them with serious expressions, even though they had just defeated a group of pursuers. However, their mood is still not happy, so terrible. This news. Everyone's heart was heavy, and they flashed back to the past, the child who lived with them for 5 or 6 years, that child. Her laugh. Her singing. No one can forget those days. El Regia, isn't it blocked by the world government? That guy Leno, what do you want to do? Why did Gordon agree? He actually rented Elegia to Hunters Guild. Uda, what's going on? Shanks and the crew looked worriedly in the direction of East Blue. Beckman took down the cigarette, exhaled, and said, Shanks, do you want to go back? Everyone is quiet. Look at Shanks. Shanks looked out to sea. The sparkling sea surface seemed to turn into Uda's smiling face, and Uda's singing sound came from it. Become a hunter, hunting dream? Hope you can do it. Shanks murmured to himself, turned his head to look at the crew, and said, I choose, believe in the guy who made such a bold statement. Hey, when we leave, shall we decide? Bearing her evil. If you go back and reveal the truth, it's too cruel to Uda, so be it. What? So serious, ha ha ha, let's have a banquet, hey, cheer up, let's sing together, ha ha ha. Jumida Islands is a huge island composed of many large and small islands, ruled by the Jumida Kingdom. Evening. The setting sun is about to fall, and the afterglow sprinkles on the sea. A large ship flying the pirate flag suddenly appeared in the bay near Kesha town. Hollow square, hollow square, hollow square, hollow square, hollow square, hollow square. Alarm bells are ringing. The pirates are coming. The pirates are coming. The sentinel gave the warning. In the town, man took up arms, woman people, old people with children, began to transfer. After the era of great pirates began, more and more pirates appear, and pirate raids on villages have become normal. Each village and town often organizes people to protect themselves. Scary ha ha ha, brothers, look, what a beautiful island, it is so suitable for us to build a paradise. On the shark's bab, the dragon opened his arms and embraced the island in front of him with a smug smile on his face. Paradise, 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 the Murlocs on the boat cheered, their eyes twinkled, showing their greed for the island. They think of themselves, they can live here in the future, living in the sunshine forever, it is simply not too cool. Relying on the advantage of the Murlocs, the evil dragon and the others escaped danger, crossed the calm belt, and came to East Blue from the Paradise section. It's like a monster from the second transfer zone, who came to Zinshu village, the evil dragon and his gang are invincible and invincible. They looted and killed all the ships they encountered along the way, and got the charts for the Jumeda Islands. The evil dragon couldn't be more satisfied with the island in front of him. He wants to build a Murloc paradise here, and realize the dreams of Fisher Tiger and countless people from the Fishman Island. Be above board and live in the sun. Paradise, it's called Dragon Paradise, scare ha ha ha. No, it's not enough. I want to use this to dominate East Blue and build an empire of dragons. The evil dragon laughed arrogantly. Call out, suddenly, a shell landed in front of the ship, causing a burst of spray. On the shore, there are artillery attacks. Many people were waving swords and telling the pirates that they were not easy to mess with, trying to scare off the pirates. But, the pirates they encountered this time were different. The evil dragon grinned ferociously, showing its fangs, and said, brothers, let them take a good look at the gap between the upper race and the lower race. The Murlocs and pirates drew out their swords, laughed and shouted loudly. Kill. Get rid of them. Mere human beings are just inferior races. Seeing another cannonball flying, the evil dragon suddenly jumped up, rushed forward, opened its mouth, and bit directly at the cannonball. Click. The shell was crushed in one bite. The Murlocs' artillery fired immediately, far more violent than the villagers' artillery fire, and the villages and towns were plunged into flames and gunpowder smoke. In the eyes of the terrified villagers, the Murlocs swam quickly from the sea, rushed ashore, brandished their swords, and chopped melons and vegetables. One touch and it will collapse. The Murlocs, possessing strength beyond that of ordinary humans, quickly resolved the battle on the coast. The dragon landed next to the cannon, with its long and sharp nose in the shape of jagged teeth. It broke the cannon and broke it into two pieces. He stomped the artilleryman to death, looked at the town, and said with a sneer, such a beautiful place is actually occupied by weak humans. After taking Kesha town, the dragon is not satisfied. He and the crew followed the fleeing humans, like a cat playing with a mouse, only kill the one behind. Kokoja village. The fugitives poured in, brought panic and mighty Murlocs. The Murlocs are wreaking havoc, destroying houses, burning villages, unleashing violence, and constantly releasing fear. When, at this time, a battle attracted a dragon. A woman who repelled a Murloc pirate with a knife was Belle Mel. She held the knife and stared at the Murlocs. Human, you want to hurt my fellow man? The dragon suddenly appeared in front of Belle Mel, with its sharp nose sticking out, and Belle Mel raised a knife to hold him. But the huge force knocked her into the air and fell to the ground. Scared ha 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 ha. The evil dragon laughed loudly and said, you dare to resist, you inferior races are truly overwhelmed. Belle Mel, Nami and Nuo Kagao shouted in panic. The evil dragon squinted and said, catch them. The two Murlocs immediately walked towards Nami and Nuo Kagao. Stop. Belle struggled to stand up, stood in front of Nami and Nuo Kagao, held the knife in both hands, and said, don't try to hurt them. Do you want to die so much, weak and inferior human beings? Then I will help you. The evil dragon cracked its mouth full of fangs. He rushed forward suddenly, opened his mouth, and crushed Belle's knife with one bite. The force of the impact was to knock her into the air. Belle Mel, Nami and Nuo Kagao cried out with crying. The dragon was laughing. For this kind of people who dare to resist, they must be treated cruelly, so that others can be afraid, fearful, and dare not resist. The surrounding villagers were angry, but they dared not resist. Oh my God, who will save us? Someone is praying. Whoever it is, save us, woo woo woo. The evil dragon sneered. Save you? Who will come? Human beings, what a group of cowardly, despicable, and disgusting fellows. Oh. So, you are very rich? Tia now Murloc. Suddenly, a flat, contemptuous voice sounded. The evil dragon's smile froze, and he raised his head to look where the sound came from. A man in a windbreaker landed on the roof. Ugly. Human, you are looking for death.